Hey, welcome back. Welcome back to 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐥𝐢 Studio. So we're going to be here for a Monday stream right now. All right, we're going to be breaking down different money mindsets. We're going to be breaking down we're going to be announcing the winners today. We had a challenge for the May challenge. This was the first time that we had a painting challenge in the community. So that way it's going to get people different ideas, different variations, different things of how you can do art. Also, you were able to collect new collectors for yourself. You were able to get new collectors and you were able to get more business into your eBay store. So this is going to be a really cool live stream that we're going to have right now. We're going to have a bunch of stuff that we're going to break down. This is going to be the Monday Money Mindset Show where I'm going to be breaking down different ideas, but also how to pay yourself. All right. So we're going to be breaking down money mindset. This is going to be a new series. I'm really excited about it. So that way it's also going to be in our money secrets course inside the elite community. You could get that as long as you're part of the elite community. Everything is attached in there. So there's going to be a lot of breakdowns about what you should do with your money. All right. How you could break out of the system of being a normie. All right. How to break out of how to break out of the system of being a ham and egger and pushing the 9 to 5. Like I make jokes like that, but if you know me, I've already had 77 different corporate jobs. All right. So I could talk about this stuff for hours. I've been there. I've been there. I was just like you and I broke out of it. Through the grace of God. Thank God I was able to break out of it because I'm telling you, but it's not about talent. Just like what we say in art or when it comes to eBay, it's not about talent. It's about systems in place. All right. So I'm just going to talk about the systems in place, how you could break out of it. And I'm telling you, I swear, this is some elite gym stuff. This is stuff that people pay thousands and thousands of dollars on courses for or seminars so they can learn how to break out of it little by little. Rich and wealthy people, they don't do it because they're smarter than you or they're more talented than you. They break out of the system because they have systems in place. All right. So we're going to be breaking that down today. Real excited about it. For everybody who's joined the live right now because you want to know who the winner is, you're going to have to wait till the end. We're going to have that as the main topic. That's going to be at the end. That's going to be real exciting. It's going to be random. I have a spin wheel kind of thing. I already have the people who are the most consistent. How it works is that I set up for May, we had a system where it would have like 2 prompts. Okay. So there would be 2 prompts in there and it would be the same prompt for everybody. So every single day, a new prompt would come in and then it would say, paint this, or it would give you an idea of what to do inside the AI generator. You would just copy it, paste it into whatever kind of AI art that you want to use. Nowadays, there's so many different free ones that you could use. There's so many different free ones that you got. But I mean, me personally, my favorite one is I like to use Grok. And because it just gives you a whole bunch of different variations. So I'm going to show you about how we did that as well. I'm going to go in there on the May challenge just to show you how great of a tool that was for everybody. Everybody enjoyed it. Everybody got better in doing their art. I mean, different things that you may not want to paint, it forced you to paint it. And then you'll be like, oh, well, I just want to get today's challenge over. And then you do it. And then you realize that you have collectors out there who actually liked it. Or you have people out there who was buying from it. So it just opens your mind to see what's out there in the world. Because there was times for me when my money was low or my numbers was low or I was feeling a certain type of way with eBay. I knew that it was me. Everything is inside of my mind. And I would just try to push myself because I'm biased. The human mind, we're biased. We're only going to want to paint the things that we want to paint. All right. Like you don't have to lie to me. Like I already know how it is. We're only going to want to paint the things that we want to paint or the references that we're comfortable painting. And then we're like, you ever have so many references saved into your computer and then it's time to paint the next reference and you're like, let me skip that one and go on to the next one. We all do that. I know I do it too. Or how many times have you spent so much time into your reference folder and you're trying to look for the next painting to paint, right? Like we all done that too. So I never talk about like how long that I want you to paint a painting. I'm more concerned about how long it's going to take you to go on to the next painting, all right, to the next reference, because that's what it all adds up. But that's why this challenge was really cool. It helped people get faster. It helped people build more experience. Like I always say, this isn't an art class. We're all creators. We were brought here to be creators. We're all creators. We're all phenomenal people. you just need coaching, and you just need systems in place to get you into the right mindset, so that way you can have the right frequency, and that way you could just do the different variations. So that's what the challenge was about, is about getting you in that mindset. You don't know what you're capable of until you actually have a coach that pushes you, or unless that you also have encouragement from the community, because everybody who was part of the monthly challenge, they were doing it together. All right. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. I'm going to show you what it looks like inside of the community, how the challenge was presented. It's going to be real cool. Also today, I'm just going to be talking about the difference in the workforce, what's going to be coming up in the workforce, what is going to be on the horizon, and how you need to save yourself. All right. We always talk about that all the time. I'm going to talk about that every video if I have to. I have to reinforce it into your mind. It's important. Like I said, I've had over 77 different jobs, so I know what it feels like in the morning time when you're inspired to want to change your life. You're inspired to do something different, but then after you get off of work, you don't have that inspiration anymore, right? You don't have that drive. You don't feel good about yourself. You're like, oh, how do I do this? I don't believe in it. Your mind plays tricks on you. So I'm just going to be talking about that, how you need to free yourself, and what is on the horizon of corporate America, and how they view you on the horizon. All right. They want to replace you. You're already being replaced right now. You're already being priced out. So this is Monday money mindset. All right. But we're also going to be having where we're going to be announcing the winners. All right. So we got a jam packed show right now. It's going to be really cool. Let me see who we have here that came already to the show. Let me see here. Let's go in here. I'm just looking. Let me pull this up here. All right. Let's see who we have here. All right. Let's see here. So we have Lee here. Good morning. Good morning. We got Black Eyes here. What's good? How are you doing? All right. We got Portia here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you're at. So no matter where you're at, we're going to get more people in here as the show starts rolling on. But I hope everybody's doing good. We're already here for the live stream. And let me just show you right here. This is the painting challenge. All right, we got Adrian here. So let me just show you what the painting challenge was for May, or actually let me show you what it is for June, because this is something that we're going to be doing every single month. And it's so cool because what inspires you, I guess what I forgot to leave out, everybody's inspired by the cash, right? Everybody's inspired by the all dollar. And what we're doing for the dollar is that whoever the winner is, there's 3 winners. And it's not going to be first, second, third place or anything like that. The 3 winners is just who was the most consistent. And the consistency is based off of you just showing up. It's not even based off of talent. It's not based off of who's got the prettiest art, because that's all subjective. You know, like I think I always make joke that we're all making ugly art. but no, because it's up to the buyer. You can't argue with us. For me to be able to produce, I always say that, hey, if I could just show up to the studio and create 100 pieces that day, hopefully I like one of them. But also, if you know me, I always say that hope isn't a strategy. So whatever, I don't care as long as I'm producing. I think it was Andy Warhol who said something famously along the lines where they were like, what do you think about critics? And he was like, while they're critiquing, I'm over there creating more. So I always put that in my mind as well, where it was like, I'm not thinking about naysayers. I'm not thinking about what people say. I'm more worried about creating and on to the next one. So that's what's so cool about this challenge as well, too, is that on to the next one. So whoever the winners were, based off of that criteria, who was just the most consistent, and you showed up every day, because I'm able to see the consistency, because we have an accountability thing inside the calendar where it shows like if it's checked off in green. Then those 3 winners, they're going to win $100 cash. So you can win $100 cash. You can start today. Today is June 1st. So if you're here right now and if you're new to the community, start today and you can win $100 cash. But also you can win a free one-on-one training with me, personal coaching where I go into your account, I show you how to set up your account, or I show you things that you need to work on. I build up a campaign for you. I build up your promos. I get you your account started. I look at everything and see what's missing, because a lot of times there might be just small things missing, but that's money missing. Everything compounds and everything adds up. So that right there, that value right there is like $400 value that you're getting, right? That's $400 value that you're getting just to win. But even if you don't win, you already win, because you're making money off of the sales, off of the new art that you're doing, and you're engaging in the community. You're learning how to paint faster. You're learning how to paint better. You're doing different types of art. Like this is it's a win-win. All right. Let's see who else we got here. We got more people that's coming in. All right. This is awesome. We got more people coming in. That's cool. Everybody's been doing a phenomenal job. Everybody's been doing a phenomenal job inside the paint challenge. So I'm really proud of everybody. I wanted to say that out there. Look, I understand how hard it is. If anybody understands how hard it is at times, it's me. And I understand that it can become a mental thing, especially when you're painting, because this is something that even though you have loved ones around you, or even if you don't or whatever, this is something that you're doing alone. And this is something that you have to do alone because you're painting alone. And a lot of times we have family members who love us, but they don't really understand what it's like to go through the process and to go through these things. So sometimes you can feel like you're alone. And that's what's so great about the community and this challenge as well, is that you feel like you're not alone, and that anything that you're going through it with other people. This isn't just some download course or where you pay something and then all of a sudden you get a PDF, you get a printout. That's like school. That's like going to a university or something like that. That's boring. But you're actually doing this together. So I guess this is kind of like a digital version of like a university, right? All right. So let me just show you what we have here. This is the June. And let's pop this up here. This is what it looks like for June. Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Reaction. Boom. There we go right there. Awesome. So you could just see right here, this is our monthly challenge right here. This is for June. It just started today. Like I said, if you're new here to the community, you could join today. So that way you could win some money. All right. You could win some cash. All right. And you could also just get better, but you could also win cash by having different artwork out there. It's real simple. And let me open this up. Let me open this up so you can see what it looks like. Here, let's pop this over here. Boom. All right, so there's some new changes that I've had on here. I mean, not changes. I think there's only just one change. Everything is still the same for everybody who did the challenge last month, but you could just see this one. I put it in white, the background on this one, instead of black. That way it makes it a little bit easier to read, I think. But you can see here, this one is based off of Summer Series. And let's blow that up a little bit. Every month we're going to have a new challenge or a new theme. So this theme is going to be Summer Series. Everything stays the same. It's 2 prompts, and that's how we go into it. So for example, let's go into our 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐥𝐢 here. Let's see here. Grok. Let's go into image. All right. And let's see what today's challenge is. Golden Beach Sunset and also Tropical Parrot Perch. So anything that we do inside the challenge is that we copy it. We go into our AI art app, whatever it is, and then we're going to paste it, whatever the prompt is. And then it's just going to give us some different variations of different things to paint. And that's just so beautiful. It looks so beautiful, and it looks like so much fun to paint. So you could just see right here. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. And look how fun that is to paint. So you could just see these are different things how you can go into it. So let's just go back here, and then let's go into the next one. Let's copy it. And let's go back. Now let's input this one. Let's see what it gives us. I'm just showing you a quick example of what you can do. This is awesome. And here we have a parrot bird, and you could do it in your own image, right? So then we save these images and then we use them as our references with the projector, so that way we can paint it. Now, once we're done doing that and we finish both paintings, then you click this check mark right here. This is your accountability, and it shows up green right here. Now we can't see it. We can't see it right now show up green because we're currently in it. But tomorrow, when you go to the next one, it's going to show green, and it's all going to be recorded. So at the end of every single week, what we do is we take a screenshot and we show if we missed a day or if we showed up. It's all in green, it's accountable. But also you could just see here when we go back here inside the post, people have already completed it. How beautiful is that? Look at that. Daniel Wood was the first one to start with the challenge for June. How beautiful is that? Look at that. Isn't that amazing? Beautiful. Let's go to the next one. Let's see this one. Look at this one for Misty. See, I love this, how she was able to just go outside of it and do something completely different. This is her parrot right here. Golden Hour in red macaw. Portia right here. You could just see right here. This is her landscape. And this is her parrot. Gordon, that's his parrot. How cool is that? So you understand how the challenge works, right? So this is how the challenge works, and everybody populates what their art is. But you'll get better with this after time, and at least that it forces you in a way to show up, and it also encourages you to be part of the community where you're doing this together. You're doing this with everybody, and you get to win some money. All right. Now the cash is however you want to receive it. You could get it either Zelle, PayPal, Venmo. You could get any way you want. I mean, preferably Zelle, so that way you could avoid fees. But yeah, so that's what we have right there. Really cool, really awesome. And that's something that you could be a part of. So you could just join today, and that way you can do that. It pays for itself, and you can't beat that. All right, let's see who else that we have in the comments here. All right, let's see here. Jim says, oh, who won? Who won? I didn't announce the winner yet. That's going to be announced at the end. So that way you could stick around. All right. You could have to hear my voice for a while. You could have to deal with me. All right. So that way we could talk about some different things on here. Talking about how to free yourself. Also, we're going to be giving a artist spotlight recognition. You know, that's what we always like to do on here. We like to give an artist spotlight recognition to people who are showing their store, their beautiful art store. But also, we're going to be giving a recognition to people who actually made wins inside the elite community, where they were able to sell things. They were able to either have their first bid, their first. We celebrate everything around here. It doesn't matter about how big it is. It doesn't matter about how small it is. Like, we celebrate it all, because the small wins in our world lead up to the big wins. Our small wins is bigger than any kind of corporate win or anything like that, because we earned that. I mean, yeah, I was going to say we deserved it. Of course you deserve it, but we earned that. You earned that. You earned that by putting in the work to get a collector, by putting yourself out there, by being vulnerable, by creating art. It's not easy what we do. It becomes easier. It's just like a muscle memory with anything else. But just for you earning those new collectors, by you putting yourself out there, by you earning new buyers out there, I'm proud of you. And that's something to be proud of. That's something that you should celebrate. So we celebrate the small wins around here. We celebrate the big wins out here. It's also important that we do that, so that way other people who are new here, or people who are watching the videos, they can see that it's possible for you too. All right. Like, you can do it. I always say that. Look, if I can do it, then you can do it, because I'm not doing anything special that you can't do. I didn't go to art school. I didn't do anything with special symmetry and the hairs that go to the left. And I didn't do any of that stuff. I don't know anything about that. Only thing I did was just keep things practical, simple, but also share with you of how I worked off of the projector for all these years. So that way the proportion's already there. I'm already a big child. I love when I painted, or when I was creative as a kid, using Crayola crowns and doing what I wanted to do. So why not just do that, but use the projector in my own colors and my own style? That's what I've been doing over the past 10 years. So I'm just sharing that with you. There was a large portion of my art career, where I was hiding and I was being secretive and I didn't want anybody to know that I'm using a projector, because if they did, then I'm not a real artist. Like, my ego was getting involved. We don't have any egos around here. That's one of the things that we try to kill, is the ego. So that way you can make the money. And the more that you kill the ego, the faster that you push art out. Or you could join the paint challenge today, then you'll kill your ego and you'll know that it doesn't matter. All that stuff that they put in your head, all of that stuff is an illusion, and it doesn't matter. All right, so let's see here. Yep, at the end, it's going to be at the end. So that way you can deal. You can deal. If you haven't already, if you just joined, make sure that you leave a like on the video. Let's eBay, or the eBay. It lets YouTube know that we're doing God's work out here. We're doing God's business. We're helping out. We're saving lives around here. We're dropping gems. We got a whole show to go through that's going to be really cool. And yeah, like how we always do. One of the things that I like to talk about when we're starting off on the live streams or on any of the shows is I always talk about health is wealth. Health is wealth. Make sure you take care of your body. Make sure that you put electrolytes in your body. That's one of the first things that I do in the morning time. And that's the things that I even drink when I'm on the show is I drink electrolytes. One of my favorite electrolytes is LMNT, where it has more of healthy sodium in there and potassium. So that way when you wake up in the morning, you can make sure that your brain isn't stuck to your skull. Because a lot of times when you're not thinking clearly, or when you don't have a great frequency, a lot of times it's not the art, it's not the business, it's not the market, it's not anything. Is that we're in a simulation and you're the character, you're the builder of your character in this of life. And a lot of times it's just that your nutrition is off or you're dehydrated. So if you're not thinking right, then your frequency is going to be off, and then it's going to have an effect for everything else. All right. But that's a deeper subject right there. A lot of times it's not based off of anything in the world. It's just based off of really it starts something that simple. So health is wealth. Make sure that you're hydrated. Try to have some type of electrolytes in the morning. Even if it's coconut water, you could do that as well. I'm a big juicer. I didn't have any juicings today that I did, but I will as soon as I get done with this live stream. I'm going to be doing some orange juice and ginger. That's one of my favorites. It's kind of like a pick me up. Maybe I'll add a splash of cayenne in there. But juicing, it's important. Health is wealth. Like, we got to take care of our bodies, right? That's one of the things that I invest in. I also invest in my body. So I'm also going to be talking about that. Or yeah, is that part of the thing? Maybe. Yeah, but I'm talking about it now. I'm talking about it now. Invest in your body. It's important. If you can, get a massage. Get a massage is important. I try to get a massage once every week because, look, we paint a lot, and I understand. Like, I always call it my painter shoulders. So anytime that I'm talking to my masseuse, I'm like, it's my painter shoulder. And you know how it feels. You understand. Take care of your body. Or if you're not in a position yet where you could get a massage once a week or something like that, definitely stretch. Stretch is longevity. You have to stretch. Make sure you stretch your body. So maybe that's something that I'll try to incorporate into our live streams, where it was like, all right, stretch your fingers, right? Stretch your fingers. This is something that I do. So that way we don't get carpal tunnel. Like, I mean, come on. I've painted over 20,000 paintings, right? So could you imagine like how my body is? Anybody else would be broken. Anybody else would be broken if they were me. But thank God that I've taken care of my body. You wouldn't be able to tell if I told people all the physical work that I've done. Take care of your body. Okay, let's see here. But someone said LMT is too salty for me. I like that. I think that's the part that I like about it, is that it's salty. The other ones are too sugary for me, and I try not to ingest too much sugar, or at least too much of the fake sugar. Another one that's good for electrolytes is like if you just cold press watermelon. Watermelon is really, really great for you for electrolytes. So that's another good one that you could do as well too. But it's like if I want to get a straight dosage of electrolytes, then I go for the LMT. Yeah, out of all the years out of electrolytes that I've been using, I think that's the best one that I experienced so far. That gives me a straight dosage of energy. Yeah. So one of the things that I like to do too, not just stretching my hands, but I'm really big onto stretching like hip movements. So make sure that you do that as well. Stretch your legs out, because a lot of times we're painting with our bodies, right? So we're standing up, we're either looking down. For years, I was painting looking down at a table, right? Like I have a long table, so I would lay out a bunch of paper artwork on the table or either canvases, and I'm so used to painting like this on the thing. And then after a while, I really can't do it like that anymore because it was hurting my neck, and that's just from so many years of doing it. And now I just can't do it. I have to be more at a canvas where I'm painting with my body in my hand. But even still, it's just my back shoulder, or my painter shoulder is what I call it. And I always, my lady is the best because she actually like stands on me. She like stands on me hard. She's got to like kick it in. She's got to use her foot. Hands, anybody like with strong hands, that doesn't even work for me because my back is so, yeah. And my lady's like, only you. Only you, 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐿𝐴𝐥, that you like it the hardest. Only you, 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐿𝐴𝐥. So if you can, invest in yourself. All right, let's see here. It says I had the opposite happening. Now that I paint every day and have extra income, my stress level is much lower and less creaking joints. That's amazing. And that is true. See, that's based off of two things. More movement definitely does increase increases your health. It helps. So like if you have bad knees or anything like that, sometimes people think that you need to do less, or really what helps, especially like your ankles or anything like that, is movement. So a lot of movement when it comes to squats, or when it comes to especially squats, or different types of movement, whatever you can. Try to do walking as well. I always try to get walking in, and it helps with the body. So I always try to do stretching and a lot of walks, and I try to squat to get my hip movement in, and it helps with any kind of ailments. But also the biggest thing that he said right there is making the money. Okay, making the money is a stress reliever. That's where the frequency comes in. You're going to make more money with the more money that comes in. So we're going to be talking more about that. That's going to be a big topic that we're going to be talking about. One of the main topics that we're going to be discussing today before I do the winner. So I'm really excited about that, because, you know, I'm all about the mindset of the money. All right. And I'm sorry. Look, I got to get this out here. I have to get this out here. But in this day and age in 2026, there's no excuse to be broke. Being broke is a choice. And it's so easy to make money nowadays because there's so many losers out there. All right. I'm sorry. I have to say it. Like, I've noticed it. And it's not, I can't just say it's a generation thing. I'm noticing it within every generation. Like, it's easy for you to win. If you're here right now, it's easy for you to be a winner. Everything is laid out for you of what we have. Everything is mapped out inside the community. But even outside of that, it's so easy to win. It's so easy to win right now because society is based on a bunch of losers. All right. They don't want to do anything. They're either lethargic. It's either in their processed food, or maybe it's the water they drink. I don't know what's going on. All right. But it's so easy to win right now because most people are losers. And I never understood it. When I was younger, when they would say 90% of success is showing up, I used to think that it meant that people were just tardy and they didn't want to show up, or they missed their appointment, when really what it means is that 90% of people, for some reason, they don't want to win, or they make excuses, or just the easiest things. And they would say that it's not even about hard work. They would always say it's not even about talent. It's just about showing up. And it's so true. I see it more now that I have different businesses. When I became successful, I see that, you know what, it's not even difficult. It's just that the rest of the people don't want to do the work. And it's so easy for you to be a winner as long as you have a high frequency, you're making the money, and you put yourself out there. It's easy to make the money. All right. So we're going to be talking more about that. Yeah. Awesome. I appreciate that. If you stop, you rust physically and financially. That is so true. Movement is everything. But also, you know me, what I always say, right? That we're all creators. We're all creators. But what I also mean by that is that not only just artistically, not only just in life, like, you know, we were meant to be here to create opportunities, life, art, love. We were brought here to create because we were made in the image of the creator. And I also say that God loves those who work. If you don't work, then then what is it? Idle hands is the devil's workshop, right? Or the devil's playthings, whatever. Same thing. I believe in that. I believe that God loves those who work. Help yourself. God helps those who help themselves. All right. A lot of times I always also say that prayer isn't a substitute for being lazy. All right. Or no work. You still have to work. You can't be just waiting around. I feel like most of the stuff that was already done, it was created for you when you were born. Now it's up to you to put the work in. You can't be like, oh, where's my stuff at? You rust if you sit around. God helps those who help themselves. You have to work. God loves those who work. Once you show that you work, then you get the blessings. All right. You can't lie and be like, oh, I've been working hard, but then, you know, you're not. You have to move. So anytime that I feel like my elbow hurts or my back or anything like that, that just means that I need to either work out more. I need to go to the gym. I need to physically move. I need to do a lot of walks. Once I do a lot of walks and things like that, then the body heals itself. There was an interview I think I just watched the other day, or I didn't watch it, but I caught a clip of it, and it was Josh Brolin, and he was saying that he like had a disc slip or something like that where he really hurt his back, and all the doctors were telling him, oh, just lay in the bed. Just lay in the bed and it's going to heal itself. It's going to mend itself or something like that. Just lay in the bed and yeah, your back's going to get better. And he said he didn't listen to that advice of what the doctors were telling him. Instead, he went to the gym and he was doing squats. He was actually conditioning his body. He said at times it did hurt, but then all of a sudden, within a month or so, he said his body recovered. It healed itself because movement is the cure. Movement is the cure. Also, when it comes to money financially, as we talked about. All right. So let's get into this right now. Today, we're going to be breaking down the spotlight artist. And this is going to be for, let's bring this up here. This is going to be our spotlight artist who I want to show some recognition and love to right now, for putting in some great art, beautiful artwork. Everybody's doing a great job. Everybody's putting in great artwork, but this is going to be Jen right here. And let me share my screen with you. All right, here we go. So you can see right here, this is from the elite community. This is Jen right here. And she wrote, consistency counts. Staying consistent is key. Here's a few of my recent postings. Thanks in advance for the love. Look how beautiful her artwork is. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. So let's just click into it right now to give her some love, some recognition. Will it open up for me? Okay, well, we can see right there from the art, but very beautiful. And you could see just how beautiful the layers are on that. I just love how her art looks. But let's go into her store right here just so we can see, and then see if there's any kind of notes that we would also give her, right? Because that's what it's all about. So she has a great cover right here, a great banner. Oh, look, she even has a video. So let's check out what her video is. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. Great work, Jen. Great work. That's a great banner right there. Look at that. She has 100 positive feedback. She sold 70 items already. She has 21 collectors that she's earned for herself. That's amazing work. And let's go into some of the paintings that she has. Beautiful. Let's see her video, if it's the same video that we just saw, or if she put up a new one. Okay, it's the same one. But at least that she put a video there, because the algorithm will respect you and it will give you a higher boost, I believe, by having a video there. And the reason I believe that is because they push you to put a video there. They want you to put a video there. So I like how she presented this. She did this correct. So she did her first photo where it's just on the wall by itself. So that way, when people look at your art store, a lot of times people don't actually click into the store itself, right? The only time they only have a split second of attention, and they're going to your store and they're just looking at it just like this. They're not going into it. So a lot of times you guys are ruining your opportunity because you're making your artwork difficult to look at if it's not cropped up or if it's not presentable just like this in a clean look. And then she has multiple photos of what the art looks like. So this one is what it looks like with the cam scanner. This one is what it looks like if it was presented on a wall with the beautiful roses. That's fine. Like normally I tell people, crop it a little bit more, but I'm only talking about that when it comes to your profile picture on the listing. But this is a great listing because she's showing what it looks like as the original. She has a video of herself, even though it's short. It doesn't matter that she's presentable, that she's a real person, right? That she's painting a little bit, that's her picture. It lets people know that you're an actual person. People want to buy from real people, that you're not some Chinese factory or something like that, right? They want to know that you're an actual person. And then she has it right here. These are her template. River Run Art, why buy from me? She offers combined shipping, always available. This is a sample of the certificate of authenticity. Great work. This is an example of what the frame looks like. So she shows what the frame looks like from the front, and then she has a profile picture of it, of what it looks like on the side. So that's great. So people could just have an idea. Then she puts frame example on there. And then back to it. So that's a great listing right there. Let's see some other listings that she has. Okay, this is great work. Now, one thing that I would advise on is that on this one, for example, this being an abstract, it's a beautiful abstract. This will sell well into your buy it now, and it's a great feeder for your buy it now. So that way you can have your impressions feed off of it, and people could come to your auctions. But normally when it comes to usually when it comes to abstract work like this, especially when it comes to auctions, they don't do well, and you don't get competing bids off of it. Now, if you wanted to have something like this, and maybe put a character on here, maybe like a cat. Like if you wanted to have this background and then just do a cat, a dog on top of it, or maybe some type of printable piece. Now those would do well. That's great. You could do something like that. And it's really easy. Like what I used to do bulk paintings like this. So I would lay these all out on a table, and then I would just do a bunch of abstract pieces on the canvases. I would do a bunch of them just like this, how it looks like how she did it. And then I would let them dry, right? So I would lay them out on the table like five by itself, like one by one. And then I would do another 5 on top. So it would be like 10 on the table, and I would just do it like this, right? Then I would let it dry, and then that's my background. So anytime that I need to go in and I need to do a cat or a dog or a printable piece, or even like a silhouette of an Eiffel Tower, I could do that from the projector really quick. Boom, boom, boom. We're knocking it out. So that's also a secret right there of how to knock work out, is by having, you could do abstraction backgrounds and build your background first. But I mean, this is beautiful, but by itself, it doesn't normally do well when it comes to auctions. So just try to do something like this for your buy it now. If you want to put this as your buy it now for a 12 by 16 buy it now, and that would do well. But I just don't want you to waste your time. I don't want people wasting their time too much with doing this. Now, like if you did a painting like this, right? This abstract, and then let's just say you put one of these flowers on top of it, then that would do well, or a tree or something like that. Then that would do well. But beautiful art store, great job on being consistent. Look at this bird right here. So the abstract painting that you did, imagine if you did a bird like that on top of it. That's beautiful work. And you even have it here for a buy it now price. This is a great price for a buy it now. More than likely somebody's going to try to send you an auction. I also see here that you have a great clearance on here. You also have discounts going on your store running. So you are building it up, your snowball effect, and you're doing a great job. So that's why I wanted to give you a shout out of recognition of what you're doing. You're putting in the work, and I'm super proud of you. Super duper proud of you. Congratulations on your beautiful store. Everything is mapped out there. All right, so let's go on to the next artist who we have here. And look, you could just see from the store right there, you could do that as well too. So this is something that I like to do. I like to go into stores. I see everything. All right. I see everything. I always say that all the time. I'm super active. I see everybody's stores. I'm in it all the time. And I'm paying attention to either if you're making mistakes or if you're not. But also, if you want to have a one-on-one with me, then just schedule a one-on-one with me. So that way I could really go into your store. I could drill down with you in live time. All of our one-on-ones is recorded. So that way I give it back to you. And then I could tell you action items of what to do. Or you could follow in the recording of things that we did together, and you can apply it more to your store. And I'm telling you, people see a difference overnight. That's how quick it takes. It doesn't take long at all for eBay to start reflecting some of the things that we do together. All right, let's go on to the next artist who I want to give a special shout out recognition to, and this is going to be, let's see, let's pull up our, I'm just pulling up the reaction cam right there. All right, so this artist right here is going to be Nancy. This is Nancy Gaddy. I hope I said that right. Gaddy. This is her recent listings right here, and you can see some of these listings. I can tell this is from our paint challenge that we had in May. So I think it was either on the last day or the day prior to the last day. And one of the prompts was a lion, and the other one was like a wildfire or a firefly, like a firefly fire. You can see how beautiful that is, right? And look at that. Look how beautiful that is. You can tell that's on canvas, and these came from our art challenge. So you can do this too. Don't think to yourself that, oh, you need to go to art school, or all these people. A lot of times these people have no experience whatsoever. It's just that they showed up. They made a decision in their lives to do something and have control over their lives, compared to everybody else taking the time away and robbing you from your time, where you don't have control. You have no ownership over your job in corporate America. You have no ownership over the things that you've done. And this is just a way where everybody's taking control back, and they're doing something for themselves. And I mean, looking at this stuff, it really inspires me. It really puts the battery in my backpack just to see how beautiful the artwork is. Look at this right here. Like, you're not telling me these aren't beautiful. Look how beautiful this artwork is. These are phenomenal. These are phenomenal pieces of artwork. And this is all from the community. Like I said, this is not art class. We are all naturally talented. This will come to you as well too. You were naturally talented like this. It's just about you showing up. Are you willing to show up? That's all. This is beautiful. So let's go into her actual eBay store right now and take a look. All right, look at that. Nancy Gaddy's art studio. Now you can see right here, she has 100% positive feedback. She sold 200 items, okay? And she has 98 collectors that she's earned for herself. So make sure that you also show up and that you give these artists some love, okay? If you're part of the community, make sure that you put some hearts onto these artist store, and make sure that you show up, you give them higher impressions. That's also a great thing about being in the community. Don't forget, when you're in the community, one of the best benefits is that you have the community that's going to be giving you love, that's going to be giving you hearts, that's going to be giving you like and support. So that way you're already driving up your impression rate. You're already driving your impression rate up. eBay doesn't know that you're already part of this community. They don't know what's going on. They just see that you're getting a whole bunch of likes, and that's what they like. Because what they are, they're just like a technology social media platform where they want to see engagement. So if they're seeing that there's engagement going on your listings, that's better for them. So what they're going to do is they're going to push out your items they're going to push your items up higher organically to other buyers who want to buy it. And that's how you're going to be getting more people who are going to be buying from your buy it now store, which is the higher Rolex pricings or different items from your auctions. It all works together. But look how beautiful her art is. I mean, look at this. And she has it presented so well. Look, this is the fox that we just saw right there. Let's see this bicycle right here. Let's see what it looks like. Look at that. Let's blow this up a little bit. Isn't that beautiful? Look how beautiful that looks. So she has this presented very well, because you can see there's the bike right there. And this also came from our painting challenge in May. And look, so she has right there what it will look like with the frame, so people can have an idea, but also that Google could have a better search engine optimized on there, so that way they could pick it up. And then she shows what it looks like by itself. And then she shows what it looks like. But this is pretty clever right here, how she used the bicycle as a mock frame up with the bicycle. That's pretty cool. I haven't seen anything like that. And then she shows a street one, or that's what it looks like as a practical shot on the easel. I always like shots like this because a lot of times people do want to see what it looks like practically. So that's a great example right there. Great work. She shows an example of her certificate of authenticity, combined shipping rule. She shows her body of work of what she's done in the past. Look at that. She shows a picture of herself to show that she has a personality. She's smiling. She's an actual person. You want to buy from her. Look at that. I want to buy from her. She's even holding up a beautiful painting that she has. And it just feels warm. It's better than how it used to be over the past 3 to 4 years when eBay would let China flood our market, and especially with eBay selling these factory paintings or selling factory stuff. So it's better now where it's not as bad at how they used to. And I'd rather buy from this person. That way people know that they're not waiting 2 weeks or 3 weeks for something to ship overseas from someone's factory print machine, whatever kind of thing that they always used to do, or that they still do. This, you're going to be getting it in a few days after you order. So great job on your art store. Let's just see a couple more art pieces. All right, I wanted to come down here to actually see. Yeah, I wanted to see some items that she had for her buy it now. Let's see. And look at this. She's doing a great job. This is a 14 by 11. Beautiful sailboat, right? Look how beautiful that sailboat is. And look at the presentation, how she has it. And she has the practical shot of it on the easel. And then you can see right here, she has where the original price, and then she has the clearance on there. She has the promos running. She has everything running. Then she also has right here where she has the banner. You can see what it looks like. Save up to 30%. You can see the eligible items and terms. Beautiful work. This way it brings people into it. And with that is bringing in free traffic to the store. So everything is broken down in there inside the elite community. You could join so you could see how you could do that for your account, as well how you could bring in traffic that way. But great work. This is a beautiful store. I mean, look at this lemonade picture right there. Awesome. And this is also from the paint challenge. This is a 10 by 10. This was also from the paint challenge. I remember this one too. This was the candy shop. I loved when everybody was doing this challenge. I would always say it reminded me of like Willy Wonka, and people were just being so creative. Like you never know. You just never know. So great work. That's what it's all about right there. I don't know about you guys, but that's what it's all about right there. Look at this hummingbird. Let me click off of her page. I could be here for like an hour. But great work on that, Nancy. Great work on that. Yeah, so you can see right there, that was the breakdown. I just wanted to show, give some recognition, give some shout out, give some love to Nancy, but also give some recognition as well to, and let's see, let's break this down. Just wanted to see, who do we have here in the community? All right, let's see here. Beautiful store. Yeah, beautiful store, Jen and Nancy. The candy shop is beautiful. Now, what I'm going to be going into a segment of where we're going to be breaking down and talking about the winners, not the winners, not the winners yet. I know, I know that's what you want. Not the winners yet, but I'm going to be talking about the elite winners, people who's been having small wins, big wins, and just a great feeling, because once the light bulb clicks, once that moment happens that you have that feeling where you know that it's possible, you know that you could start bringing things back to yourself, you know that this might actually work. Everything else didn't work, but this might actually work. You mean to tell me that I'm making some money? Like, for years, they told me that I had to play the game of social media. For years, I had to try to tap dance. They said that I had to do all this. I had to be an influencer. I had to do all these things in order to be an artist now. I had to go to an art fair. I had to send out a newsletter. I had to send out these emails, and I had to do all of these different things. And what if if I miss these checkpoints, right? Then that means that I failed and I'm not going to sell my artwork. But really, you just want to go to the studio. You just want to create some art. You just want to be present in that moment, list the art, and then be done with it. When that moment clicks that that's all you have to do and you don't have to do the social media stuff, it's a game changer. It's something that changed my life. Once I realized that I didn't have to do the social media games no more. And like I said, I sold over 18,000 paintings on eBay alone without using any social media. I didn't use any social media because I wanted to be a ghost. But also a piece of me was like, I'm ashamed that I use a projector. They're going to make fun of me. They're going to make fun of me for making money. they're going to make fun of me for making money. Like, who cares? Who cares? Some people want to feed their ego. Some people want to feed their family. It's so weird if you have anybody who's going to try to say anything different about you, about what you're doing with your business and what you're doing with your art. A lot of times people just rather see you broke, and they rather see you do the old style of art that you were doing when you weren't making any money than when you are making money. Let's see here. This is so true. Produce Man says, I didn't think that listening to music or podcasts with words was slowing me down until you suggested it. I switched to focused music that has no words, and it did help my productivity. I was surprised. It's very true. It's very true. I've been doing this for a long time. So I know the things that not only I put into my body within like food, water, electrolytes, or anything like that, but I also understand the productivity in my mind of the things that whatever I put in when it comes to even music or whatever. So really, it's crazy. I used to be a big music lover. I don't listen to music anymore like that. I don't listen to music even when I'm in the car now. I don't listen to music like that anymore. It's just one of those things where I understood that it was slowing down my productivity, and it was a distraction, and you don't notice it until you're in it. But when I'm doing art, I don't listen to it. I don't listen to music. Now if I do, which is rare, like I said, it might be something where it has the certain megahertz, or it could be something like symphony, classical, Beethoven, maybe, maybe even some jazz a little bit, maybe. But most of the times I'm not Or it's different. It depends. There's nothing wrong with podcasts. Like, I don't want people to go into the studio and think it's prison, right? Where you just got to go in there and then it's just nothing at all. It's just a blank wall. It's just blank sound. Like, then that's like, oh, I got to go to prison today. I mean, we're artists. We got to feed off of some type of stimulants. We gotta feed off of something. So a lot of times what I would do, which would be helpful, is that maybe I would listen to a audiobook on either finance or self-improvement or philosophy, things like that. Then I mean, those are things that I kind of enjoyed in the process too. But as far as music where they have certain messages or things like that, I stay away from it. You're late to the stream. No worries. We didn't announce who the winners are yet. We're gonna leave that for the end. But we did just have a artist spotlight where we went through the spotlight of the just showing off some story, giving some love, giving some recognition. Please, everybody out there, give some love, give some recognition. If you just joined the video as well, or if you haven't, make sure that you leave a like on this video and make sure that you share this video out to your friends, family, people who you think need to hear this message or can resonate and help you along with this. All right. So let's go into this right now. Now we're going to go into this is going to be something that I get really excited about, because these are actual members. I mean, also the artist spotlight was members too, but these are members who are actually proud about their wins, and these are things that I like to celebrate. So let's see right here. Okay, cool. Let's go into reaction here. Okay, so here we are. We're back at it. This is an elite member right here who has a win, who has something that they wanted to share, as something that they wanted to celebrate, something that they feel really proud about. And I wanted to read this to you. She wrote this 3 days ago. This is Jazz. She goes, "Oh, I'm really mad." She's like, "I'm really mad that I didn't start doing this sooner." She says, "I painted 40 plus pieces over the past 2 days, and it only took an hour to cam scan, mock up, and draft." Exactly. I'm going to stop right there. We are the fastest when it comes to listings. Everything is broken down inside of the elite community, how I show you how we are the fastest when it comes to listings. A lot of resellers, they have money on the table, or they call it dead piles, because they don't like the process of listing. And I can't blame them, because they have to go in there in item specifics and do details on different things that they have, because it's so different. Ours is only thing that we're doing is the template is just the canvas size or paper size. So we do the fastest. So it's not just about the template as well, but it's the system of how I show you how we transfer it over in such a short period of time. Like I said, I'm able to do 50 or so listings in like 30 minutes. And I even have a video inside the elite community where I do 300 listings, and I do it in such a short period of time, and I do it with you so I can show you how I transfer them over. I mean, we're the fastest. Now let's continue this. She says, this is only day 4 that she started, because she just started. She said, this is only day 4, and I already have 50 active listings, 17 bids, 4 bidding wars, and 145 items that's already drafted. She says that's already $150 total profit from sales and shipping if the auctions were to end today. Now, that's if the auctions were to end today. But when it comes to eBay, she's going to be making way more money than that, because at the last minute, especially when she's building up her snowball effect, at the last minute, people, that's when they really bid up, because she's already have bidding wars going on her items. She's got 17 bids already, and she has 4 bidding wars. She has people competing to buy her items. And the reason why, because she was sitting on a treasure trove. Yeah. And a lot of you guys are sitting on gold mines as well too. You're sitting on a gold mine because you have you have items either in storage, either in your house, or different things where you can sell. You can sell things from your house where you might even made from high school. You might have made years ago. You might have made when whatever. You have artwork that's in your house. You have a bunch of stuff that you can get rid of. And a lot of times you think that, no, nobody wants these. You even have sketches that's in a sketchbook somewhere that you drawn or you doodled. You can sell those, and then it makes a difference. I'm telling you. So this is what she had. She had a bunch of inventory already. And then if you're in that situation, I'm going to tell you the same advice of what I told her, how that way you can have this happen as well too, and you can start making the money quick. All right. So if you want to know how you could do that, join us in the elite community. Send me a message, or you could just see in here how we break it down of how you can do that if you already have the inventory that's already inside your house or whatever you're sitting on. So just don't have things just sitting around in your house or different artwork and then you're not making no money off of it. Let's continue this. She goes, I can't wait to see what's coming. She says, I can't wait to see what's going to come after all these auctions end. She says, I attached a video flip through the ones that I've completed the last 2 days in a few photos of my favorites. So let's see what she has. All right, let's see what she has. Let's go down here. Look at this. This is her artwork. Beautiful artwork. And you can see how she's working these fast. She says over the past 2 days that she was able to create so many different new listings. These are all fast artworks. These are things that you can do too. It's just about showing up and doing different variations. Why I'm proud about her is that you can see from this that she's doing different types of art. It's not all the same. It's not the same colors. It's not the same subject matter. It's all different types of art. And she's just showing up. Look how fast she's able to do this. And she has bidding wars going on. This is only the beginning for her. When you're at the beginning stage, like it only gets bigger. This is how the snowball effect gets bigger. I always tell people, it doesn't matter even if you start off doing 3 to 5 pieces of art. I'd rather you do that starting off, but at least that eBay is going to know that you're being consistent and that you're showing up being consistent. So what did she say? She said that she's already painted 40 plus pieces over the past 2 days. Now that's amazing. Let's look more of her artwork here. Look at that beautiful artwork. I'm glad that she shared that. Everybody's really proud as well. Let's see what I wrote her. I said, I told you, you're in a special place with your inventory and store. Great work. This is only the beginning. It's only the beginning for her. She just started 4 days ago. So what could you do with that? If you just started 4 days ago, then you could also be in a situation where you could start making money for yourself. This is better than any opportunity because you don't have to go out there and Uber. You don't have to go out there and get a part-time job where you have to do an interview, all right, with somebody asking you some silly questions. Hey, why do you want to work at CVS? Okay, I'm really passionate about being a cashier and checking out Pringles. No, you're not. All right, you don't have to do any of that type of silly stuff. And you can just do this for yourself. All right, let's see here. All right. I was just reading some of the comments right there. You're very welcome, Nancy, that I covered your art. Thank you for showing up, being consistent. But I'm just really proud about situations like this. Now, this is the thing too. What I also told her is that I said, because she says I'm really mad that she didn't start early, right? And then I wrote her down here. Let's see where we're at. Like you could just see, this is the community right here. You see how much love everybody gets in the community as long as you just share your success stories. You just share what's going on with you. This is the type of community that we have here. That's why this is better than any type of course room or anything where you're just printing out a PDF and figure it out on your own. No, you don't have to figure this out on your own. Like, so I told her, I said, you're mad. I said, I'm mad I didn't start 10 years ago. I said, I'm also mad that I didn't start coaching earlier, but everything happens for a reason and it's right timing. I'm proud of you. And she says, I totally agree. God says when we're ready now, or God says that we're ready now. I appreciate all that you do. And that's amazing to hear. And that is very true. You know, at times I do say that to myself. I'm like, I'm mad that I didn't start selling eBay 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Like, I wish that I would have started then and then did everything. And I'd be like, oh, I'd have made so much more money. And then I also say to myself even now, wow, like I really enjoy coaching people and helping people make money. I wish that I could have done this years ago, or at least 4 years ago, but everything happens in the right timing. Because if I would have tried to do coaching 4 years ago or 3 years ago, then I wouldn't have been experienced enough. And then I would have just been like any other guru who's online, and they're just lying and they can't talk about these things like the back of their hands because they haven't been through the fire enough, where they're just going off of theory. And a lot of these people are just going off of theory saying, I can make sure that you're successful because of success, but then they can't show the success of what they've had in comparison to I've done this for only 7 months now, but within the community, I'm already in the discovery page of like 35. So I'm in the top 35 group inside the school community, or we are. And I have the proof where we done like over 200 painting videos. So that's over like 1,000 canvases that we created together, but also showing the proof of where I have 18,000 paintings sold. So if I would have tried to do coaching for some years ago, then I would have just done it as a guru trying to make a buck, in comparison to organically, naturally, how I'm talking to you and trying to help people. And I'm coming from a place of being able to help you because I went through it too, and I've done it. Now, if you ask any other coach or guru or someone, right, like, show me a business that you built yourself, they can't really show you the business they built themselves. The only business that they built themselves is the business of theory, pretending to help other people or something like that, right, along those lines, having a gift to gab. But this is just amazing. And, there is no perfect timing of anything. The perfect timing is today. The perfect timing to start your business is right now. I kind of wasted 1.5 to 2 years of not painting full time for eBay because I was skeptical and I didn't believe in it. I didn't understand how it worked. I didn't understand how you could make money. And because I didn't understand how the algorithm works and how, if you don't day trade, how it all adds up. But I wasted the time, and I wish I would have jumped in more, but I didn't get that chance to early. But everything happens for its own reason. And one of the quotes that I always like to say to everybody is that it's never too late. It's never too late to be who you were meant to be. So whoever you think you were meant to be in your own video game, in your own simulation, then you could do that today. It's never too late to be who you were meant to be, but don't wait for the opportunity, or don't wait for the perfect day, because the perfect day never happens. So if you think that you're a bodybuilder, if you think that you're a superhero, which you are a superhero, you are a phenomenal person, then start becoming that superhero and that phenomenal person today. Don't wait for the opportunity, or don't wait for a circumstance to happen, because then once you start doing that and having the practice of whatever it is that superhero, bodybuilder, phenomenal person is, then that's who you end up becoming. You don't become that without doing it. So you have to be, they say that you have to be delusional. You have to be delusional first, and you have to start pretending of who the person is that you want to be. And then you're able to become that person. That's how you manifest, and that's how you change your life. That's how I was able to change my life. Okay. But I'm really proud of you, Jazz. Thank you for sharing that with us. And I love to share those type of stories. Join us inside the elite community so you can be part of this and you can have these type of wins as well too. Let's go on to the next person. I have one other elite member who also wanted to share one of their wins. And let's go into it right now. Let me bring this over. Let's bring this over. All right, here we go, right here. Let's see what this looks like. All right. So right here we have Eric, who says, no more slow painting. Finally, he says, no more slow painting. He says, I've been relatively quiet for a while, but I've been focusing more on my time on painting. From the beginning, my biggest challenge has been that I paint slow and I get caught up into the details. I was beginning to think that I would never improve, but I kept pushing myself and having internal dialogue about just letting go and not worrying about perfection. He says, while watching 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐥𝐢𝐧𝐠 recent video where he painted 6 pieces in 1 hour, something finally clicked for me. I think a lot of it is how 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐥𝐢𝐧𝐠 talked about not caring if the paint was outside of the lines. It was the video that I needed to see. I'm very excited to report that I've been consistently completing my paintings in 8 to 10 minutes since watching that video. Here are some of the results. I'll list them on eBay soon. And these are some of the paintings that he wanted to share with us that he was able to complete in less than 8 to 10 minutes by just letting his ego go. So let's see what you guys think. This is beautiful. This is beautiful right here. And he's not worried about painting outside the lines, as you can see right here. But it makes it look better. It makes it look more authentic. It makes it look more confident. It makes it look more bold. If people want pretty art that looks like it's all together, then they could just buy it from a Bed Bath Beyond, or I know they're out of business, or they could get it from a Target, or they, you get what I'm saying? They could get it from one of these factories. But this just shows that you're human. This just shows that you're authentic. This just shows that you are being vulnerable, and that's something different. Look how beautiful this is. But you could just see how confident he is now by letting go. Look at this. Look at how beautiful this dog is. And these are all completed in 8 to 10 minutes by just letting go. And these are all figurative women right here, which are beautiful. You can never go wrong with figurative women. Great work. And you can also see down here as well, too, in the comments, all the support, all the love that he gets. And that's what it's about. And I just love that right there, because it's going to get to a certain point for yourself where you could just let go and you could drop the ego. And I know I've had those moments as too well, because he was saying right here that at the beginning he was thinking that he would never improve. And there was moments where I thought that I was never going to improve, or that I was never going to be able to get faster. But if you study all the masters in the past, or all the masters of who they say were great artists, everybody always tried to figure out ways to produce faster. And for me, the two things that helped is where we have the timers. We're accountable for the 90 minutes, and we're also accountable for the time that we're working each canvas. And he's showing up by doing them in 8 to 10 minutes, and then on to the next one. Now, when we're talking about the next one, remember what we were talking about is that I care more about how long it's going to take you to get on to the next painting. So make sure that you have your references ready into your work folder. That's a key gem right there that I'm dropping right there. If you're not already a part of the community, that's a key gem that I'm giving away. Make sure that you have your references already ready, so that way when you press next, it's time for you to get on to the next painting. It's not time for you to, oh, I completed, I'm proud of myself, I completed that painting in 8-10 minutes. So now let me eat Cheetos. let me go to the refrigerator and let me eat a sandwich. Let me go to the bathroom break so many different times. No, what's important, one of the most important things is that how long it's going to take you to get on to the next painting. That's probably more important than it is how long it's taking you to paint it. So I'm really proud about that you were able to switch. Something always switches in the mind. And then once it switches in the mind, then you're able to make the money. You're able to make the money because, like I said, it's all about having a lottery ticket. I'd rather have more lottery tickets out there for me to win and for me to be successful than for me to be like, I only have 2-3 paintings and they're Mona Lisas. It's not about the Mona Lisa, because you can't control the market. And you're only going to be disappointed. And then what you're going to do, you're going to come back to me. I already know it. You're going to come back and you say, the program didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work for me. It didn't work for you because you were taking too much time eating the Cheetos and the sandwiches in between hand. You didn't have your references ready. And then you were thinking that it didn't work for you. when it does, when you just have to drop your ego. A lot of times you still have your ego, and I always say you can't serve two masters, right? You can't serve two masters. Trust me, I know. I tried to serve two masters plenty of times. You can't have the gallery world and the eBay world. You can't serve two masters. Don't do it. So I appreciate you sharing that with the community, so that way I can share it with the world and then show off your beautiful artwork so that everyone can see. Really beautiful stuff there. And that's something to be proud about. All right, now let's go on to, now I'm going to take a quick commercial break right now before we go into our artist reaction video, where it's just going to be a quick reaction video to one of the artists who paints very, very fast. And it's going to be a really cool video to see. We're going to watch it together. I kind of glanced through it, but not really. So we could watch it together for the first time. And it's going to be really, really awesome to see. But I'm just going to take a very quick commercial break, come back to you. If you haven't already, leave a like on the video. Let me know that you appreciate everything that's going on right now, that we're putting out there. All right, that we're showing some love and respect out there. All right, and I'm going to see you in a short bit. Hold on, quick break. This is important. I want to let you know that you were already an artist, you were already a creator, and you were already a phenomenal person. You don't have to be tech savvy. You don't have to have social media following, an email list, or any outdated ways that they say that you have to sell art. Everything is already mapped out for you on eBay, where they already have the market there for you. I've sold over 17,000 paintings on eBay, and I did it by being a ghost. I wasn't on social media. I didn't use it to market. I didn't do any of that stuff. I just focused on being on eBay, and you can too from the comfort of your home. You don't have to go to art fairs. You don't have to try to get new networking or anything like that. Everything is mapped out for you. So like I said, you don't have to be tech savvy. I have a system where you could copy and paste all the things in there. I have videos of how you can set up your account. I have everything there for you, so that way you could get started. You get started with a 14-day sales activity challenge. That way you could get your first sales, and then you could get your first transactions. You're going to have your first sales by the time that you're done with the 14-day sales activity. But the best part is that you're not alone. You're going to be having a supportive community that's going to be there along with you. Other courses, they just have where you're going through it alone and you're just trying to figure it out. But here, you're always going to have a full supportive community of people who already succeeded, who already gone through the steps, and will help you along the way. And you can ask any questions. And we also have a weekly Q&A call where you can ask me any questions. All right. So you have nothing to lose. Look, everything in the world has gone up in pricing. So give yourself a chance right now where you can make some additional income for yourself, for your family, and see what you want to do. All right. We are back right now. That was a quick commercial break right there. I need to put some claps on there. I need to put some sound effects, which just have a it's an amazing show. It's the best show. It's the best show. 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐿𝐴. Thank you, 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐿𝐴. I had to make sure that I just got a chance to stand up and just stretch a little bit, right? But we're back to the show right now. And we're going to be going over an artist right now. Let's see here. This is going to be called 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐥𝐬. This guy right here, I guess he's in the Guinness Book of World Records for painting the most, or maybe he's not, but he's known to be a very prolific artist. I think it's just going to be fun just to watch him paint real quick, how he has no ego in the art, how you can see in real time that the art is already there. Like the creative process is already there. There's nothing special. It's just about showing up. He shows up. He's been doing it so many times, and he has so many pieces of art where he just knows that by him showing up, the art is going to present itself. And it's just like Michelangelo or anything else where it's like the work is already there. We're already creators. God already has the art that's there. I can't make it any prettier. I can't make it any worse. Only thing that I could do is just show up and paint it. And then it is what it is. And that's the beauty about art. Like art, you can actually see. Art is like the closest that you can actually see God sometimes, where you just, how did I do that? I don't know how I did that because I didn't go to art school. I don't know how that was possible, but somehow I'm able to create it. And the happy mistakes also lies in you working in speed. I told this story before, but I remember I even wrote it down. I had this dream. It was like 3-4 years ago because I was really struggling. I was struggling and I was mentally battling myself with working faster, producing, but also just doing different types of art. So I go to sleep and then I had this dream, and it was this celebrity who is like a musician or something. Don't even like the person either, which is crazy. But in the dream, the person says that the genius lies in working fast, and working fast and speed is the happy mistakes. It wasn't Bob Ross, but it was along that premise right there. And then as soon as I had that dream, I remember I wrote it down into my journal. I dated it. And from there, I was able to increase my speed. I was able to get better. The artwork was already there. So let's just go over this video right now. Let me share this with you. Let's open this up. All right. So this is going to be 𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐴𝐴 right here.
Hi, welcome to the experience of art alive. I'm very happy to be back here at the Great Joe Franklin Show. Right now, I think I'm going to give you an art lesson, how to create some beautiful flowers. Flowers, of course, here it is, happening right now. And if I may mention something what had happened a long time ago when real people was doing a reunion with, George Slater, the beautiful Sarah Purcell, Freddie Willard in Disneyland in Orlando. I was out there. They made like a movie, 3 different segments. I painted the Disney castle, there. Who was it? Peter Pan wants to have painted the castle for Cinderella. Later they told me, go and paint her kitchen. But Cinderella couldn't find where the kitchen was. So it doesn't matter. Anyway, so while I was doing it outside, there was a mob of people there. And
What's he talking about?
Hey, there is 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐴𝐴. Where is Joe Franklin? Joe Franklin. So I said, Joe Franklin is signing autographs. So they dumped me, the people, and they ran right away to see the great Joe Franklin to sign some autographs. It doesn't matter. Let me go back now to the art. As many of you have seen me so many times.
Look how quick he's working that background.
I was very privileged to meet at one time here, actually my very famous or very favorite from the jungle of.
I work my backgrounds the same way, but I don't use the knife like he's doing.
Also here backstage, I met also.
But kind of similar, because I'll use a rubber brush at times.
Yeah, Jane Katz, a gold medal winner for swimming, and I think she is now teaching how to hold back aging. So you never know. Next time when you see me on the Joe Franklin Show, I'm going to be 17 years old. Let's see how much time have I got here. I think I'm in trouble now with the timing as far as.
Look, you see, he's timing himself.
I only hope they get some more footage while I smear it around. So
he's looking at the timer, and he's rushing the timer so he can make the happy mistake because it's already there.
Let's see now what I can do.
I guarantee you, if he tried to
using my brushes, my international acclaimed tools.
I guarantee you, if he tried to make pretty art like Mona Lisa's, or tried to slow it down and try to think that he could just work whenever, I guarantee you, for him, it wouldn't look good, or he wouldn't produce it the same way that how he's able to produce the happy mistakes, because it's already there.
No brush is done. It's all done with this unique way, which I have invented some 35 years ago. I have my own dictionary on art, and I possibly can.
Look, he's even using a
painting in very little
paper
time.
towel.
I only hope the clock has stopped a little bit, a few seconds. I don't know if we can do something here much. Let's create one rose here and another rose here. And many times,
he's doing a flower pot.
When I create shows at the resorts upstate in the Catskills, they say, stop, I stop. And they say, sign it, I sign it. And that's how they buy it. Here's a beautiful rose here. Here's one rose here, another one. Okay, I saw it, I know it, I get visions now with artistry, with creativity. So that's my whole life story. Art is, my name is Maurice Katz, and art is my game. And I try to communicate with my art, to do various different ideas, to teach, to do fundraising, promotions. I'm very big in promotions, booth appearances, booth disappearances, all around. Let me get back now, I'm running low on brushes.
I love this guy.
Masterpiece, maybe like 2 seconds. You see, make a mistake, I just cover it up. Nobody knows the difference. At this moment,
nobody knows the difference.
Abstract and a painting. Let me throw in a few
Exactly.
daisies in honor of
Abstract and a painting. You see how beautiful this
Jane
is?
Katz and Irish McCall. Yes, we'll do. I think I may even have time enough to sign my name. It's not so easy. I try to imitate my name all the time, and it doesn't come out so good anyway. A few seconds now.
He tried to imitate his name all the time.
So you're very welcome to call me up, or you can watch me on the Great Joe Franklin Show very, very often, or David Letterman Show, or other shows. There's too many shows, too numerous to be mentioned.
You
Okay.
see how he's not taking himself
Matter of
serious because
fact,
he knows that it all
trying to go
comes
in show
together.
business
If
now,
you go to
it appears, of course,
museums,
that also
artwork
the
looks just like
fantasy
this when
island
you
stage
get a chance to
also
look at it.
disappeared at the same time. So many great ideas. Signing now the signature, original art, created. This is all live. Nothing has been cut. And you are the people, my inspiration. So watch always the great Joe Franklin show has given me the greatest exposures in the past since 1928, 23 years. America, the experience, roses, congratulations. Watch Instant Art Alive on the great Joe Franklin show.
That is so cool right there. That was so cool. The reason why that was so cool is because he was able to do that in 5 minutes, but he was able to do it with no ego involved, and he was able to do it with the pressure of actually being on, I think it was like a national TV show at the time, and that's his art style. But if you go to museums and if you study the masters, this is how the masters work. People think that the masters worked they were being meticulous and they were slow. No, they were producing fast art. They were producing fast art because they also understood that that's where the genius lied at. That's where the beauty lied at, is that the fast work. Like, let's just look at that one more time so you can see what his artwork looks like. And that's on a larger canvas right there. People don't want super duper high realistic surrealism stuff. They want to see stuff that is coming from your core. They want to see stuff that is coming from the creator, right? They want to see something that's something so different. If you go to a museum, the reason that I tell people to go to a museum is that way you can really study their brushstrokes, and you can see that they're not that special. You can see that all those pictures that they show, that you're able to do it too, and it's not that special. It's not that special. So I'm always inspired anytime that I leave a museum, is because I'm able to study, okay, let me see the master's brushstroke. Oh, they were sloppier than I am. When you go to a museum, you're going to see that these people are sloppier than you are. They didn't care. They didn't have ego, because they also understood that it didn't market, that it didn't matter. They also understood that when it comes to, I'm not going to say they didn't value the collector, but they value more of themselves. And they're like, at the end, I'm prolific. And as long as you're prolific and you look at your body of work like one piece of painting, that's what matters. So I just love that right there. I wanted to share that with you. That was a quick video of a reaction of, this is 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝑡𝑠. If you like this, let me know in the comments that you like 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝑡𝑠. If you like more of these videos, then I'll do a one-off video. I'll just do a special video where I will go over 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝑡𝑠 other artworks and other videos that he has, because he has more videos, he has more artwork, and I'll go over that. So let me know in the comments if you like that. Leave a like on there, and that's pretty cool that we could go over 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝑡𝑠. Let's go here. Let's see here if we have any comments, if we have any super chats. If you appreciate, if you like this live stream, then let me know. Leave me a super chat if you can. If you can't, then that's fine as well too. Just make sure that you share this video with your friends and family. Have them join you. Have them join you in the art challenge. You know, that's going to be something that I'm going to start asking people as well too. That way, it's going to make it more fun. Anybody who joins the elite community, I'm going to have like an introduction showing, hey, send this also to your friends and family, so that way they can join and y'all can do this together. You can have, that could be your accountability partner of whatever your friends or somebody is who you want to join. But, you know, if you're somebody where maybe you're an introvert, you don't have any friends, and that's fine too, because we're going to be your new friends. We're in the community together. So that's fine. You can have an accountability partner inside the elite community. But, you know, it's also cool too if you can have like brother, sister, friend, somebody in your real life who can join and they can do it with you. And that holds even a little bit stronger on the accountability. But yeah, if you can, leave a like on the video and let me know that you appreciate that. Let's see who we have here in the comments. Janine says, my boss called. Can I find this later? I just missed the last 20 minutes. Yeah, you could definitely find this later. It's going to be on here. It's always going to be on here. We're just live streaming right now, but you can find this in the live on YouTube. It's going to be right here. And the cool part is, if you know me, I don't like the word boss. Say manager, director, whatever their title is, because that's who they are. I never like to use that word boss. Like, you're your boss. We're our own boss. The only boss that I have is 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐿𝐴 Art Studios. My boss is 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐿𝐴. He signs the checks. I'm the employee. Like, we're our own boss. It's small things like that psychologically that can add up into big things. So I know it might seem like not a big deal to a lot of people, but it is a big deal because this is how you operate your life. It's only your life. You're the boss. There is no boss. My boss called. So it's like, I understand we all have responsibilities. Trust me, I've been there too. So I'm not knocking anybody for having responsibilities, and you got a job. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, but it's just small things like that. We have to start earning our freedom back a little bit at a time by just not saying things like that. You're your boss. They're just your manager. They're just a title. Outside of that, they were just another person. But you could definitely catch this video again. Lee says you could definitely start painting. She says, I never painted before, and now 6 months in, I've sold over 600 paintings, and I painted almost 2,000 paintings. You can do it too. Exactly. And Lee, phenomenal work. That's just an example right there of how God works, is that Lee's never painted before. And if anybody inside the elite community, you've seen how beautiful Lee's artwork is. She's gotten better just by showing up, by just also knowing that she was made in the image of the creator, and that the work is already there. The work is already there. So as long as you just have that frequency and you get better. All right, let's see here. Oh, got a super chat from Zinjin. As always, Zinjin is showing the love. She's always doing appreciation. I greatly appreciate that. She left me a $10 super chat in there. I greatly appreciate you. She says, yes, I have been studying for years. It's their own thing. I'm so happy that I met you when I get off course or someone throws me off. I always come back to your teachings. Thanks, Core. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let me also leave a like on there. That really means a lot to me, because I understand how important that is. And that's what I'm here for as far as coaching, but also for motivation. So that's something that I'm trying to channel more into lately. That's my new goal that I'm trying to push on this channel more, is more of the inspiration and the mindset. And that's something that's very important, because everything is controlled by the mind. And like I said, we are the builders of our character in this movie, in this video game, in this simulation. We are the builders, but our mind controls it. And it's very important that I talk about these things, because that is where the basis of success comes from. And it's very easy that our minds can play tricks on ourselves, or the mind can play tricks and convince you that things are going wrong, or that you're not good enough, or whatever it is. So my focus that I need to hone in on more lately is to center everybody back into who you are. You're a phenomenal person. You're already a superhero, but there's just so many distractions, and there's so many things in society that has you believe, or has your brain believe, that you ain't, that you're not anything, or that is not working for you. All right, let's see here that we have here. Black Eye says, I married my boss. Oh, that's one way to go about it too. That painter was great. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna share more of his stuff. All right, so now we're gonna go into the next topic right here, and this is going to be a topic kind of like, that was a great segue where we were just talking about the mindset and about success. So now with the mindset, where we're going to be talking about success, is we're going to be talking about why it's important for you to free yourself, to work for yourself, and to break out of the simulation that they designed for you. Okay. And what the future is, what they have in store for you, what they think they have in store for you, and what that entitles, what that means. All right. So let me share this with you. Now, this video that I'm going to share right now, this is actually from the CEO of Randstand. Randstand is a employment agency, a temp agency. And what he's saying about the future is something quite frightening, or it's just on the horizon of what they already knew already, because they're trying to phase you out. They're already phasing you out. They're already laying off. They're already getting rid of the workforce. And the reason why is because they've had AI for decades, but now they're just introducing it to the world like it's a new thing. But this is something that they've had for a very, very, very long time. I mean, probably even longer than, most of us were alive, to be honest with you, for half a century. But now they're just getting to a point where it's kind of phasing out the workforce. And I don't know if this is doom and gloom or this is just reality of what things are going to be. So here, let's show this right here. This is the CEO of Randstad. Now, what's just crazy about Randstad, when I think of Randstad, it's like I've had so many different corporate jobs in my life, and I've had so many different, a lot of them were temp jobs. So it's crazy because I remember having to work. I think I even worked for Randstad a few times with different temp agency placement places where they place you at, just different corporate, financial, whatever type of temp jobs. But this is what he has to say.
Are coming up rapidly. I would say you can make a good career and good money in skilled trade. That's definitely a career track. The days of, okay, go to college and do something in an office, they are over. So you got to be smarter than that. I think technology, any kind of technology, is still a good career trajectory. The skilled trades are coming up rapidly. I would say you can make a good career and good money in skilled trade. That's definitely a career track. The days of, okay, go to college and do something in an office, they are over.
Uh-oh. What does that mean? What does that mean for a CEO? Like you can see right here, this is from CNBC International. Randstad CEO Sander van Noordenden told CNBC that technology and skilled trades are becoming strong alternatives to traditional office careers. What does that mean? What does that mean? It means that you are being priced out. I always talk about this. This is something that I talked about last year if you followed me. This is something that I told you that was coming. I told you that we are in the time where we have the largest generational wealth that is being transferred, the largest transfer of generational wealth. Either if you're involved in it or if you're not involved in it, it's happening right now as we speak. And you're at a very significant part in your life, in a very significant part where you can make the change happen for yourself. You can start with the smallest business startup with eBay. You can start that, and then you can invest the money back into these technologies, into your own business, into your own freedom to getting these things back for yourself. A lot of times people think that you can't do it because, I need more than $100. I need more than $200. I need more than $1,000. No, you don't. You can break free from it for $20, for $30. And that's going to be something I'm going to segue. We're going to talk about on the next one. But I'm just showing this right here. This is something that his whole business. Think about this. His business is having job placements for people to go into the office. So why would it benefit him to be on the world stage and not keep that secret and say to you the days, look, he has it right here. The days of going to college are over. Recruitment giant. And you know why they're over. I wish that I had this video set up, but I don't right now. They have too many videos lately. I'm pretty sure that you guys seen it too, where you have these kids who graduate college nowadays and they're getting in fights. All right. they're getting in fights, or their families is getting in fights in the stands, or like they're just like, these are supposed to be our future doctors and lawyers. I don't think so. I think the future generation is doomed, really. And I think that's why they're also introducing the AI, because they know that the future generation is doomed. Many of them, they pass by using AI, or many of them pass by just, they felt sorry for them. So they gave them participation trophies. These are the participation generation. So they already know. I was telling this to people 10 years ago that those days is over with, that HR, they value people with experience than they value people who just got out of college, and I don't have any experience at all, but I paid thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars for this piece of paper, but they don't have time to train you in this day and age when they have already fired and they got rid of departments because they're using AI to get rid of them. Why do they need some kid in there who doesn't know anything of the world, or maybe some kid in there, he's even a liability? You have kids nowadays, like, I'm gonna be honest, and they can't say this. Companies can't say this because they could get sued, but a lot of companies nowadays, they definitely check on who you are as far as your profile or your social setting, because a lot of these kids nowadays, they're indoctrinated with different ideas and they're a liability. So they don't want you to come in there with your ideologies and your different things, and then you cause problems for the company. This company could get sued. The company is like, you're too emotionally attached to these ideologies of whatever you feel of the world. Like, you have kids out here who are chanting and all of their stuff, who haven't even lived a life yet, who don't know anything, who haven't paid taxes yet, who don't know anything of the world, but then they have all these ideas until they get into the world, and companies don't want to deal with it, but they can't come out and say that they don't want to deal with it, but they're just done with it. All right. So instead, they just know that they rather have AI to replace you. And I told you that. So you need to put yourself in a situation where you're irreplaceable. Start your own business. What do I always say? Nobody pays you like you pay yourself. So here, let me go off of that right here. Let's go into the next one right here. Check this out. You got to see this. Now, when we're just talking about being irreplaceable, right? You have the CEO of Anthropic, which is Claude AI, that says this. All right, here, let me pull this over. The CEO of Claude Anthropic releases a list of jobs that will be affected by AI. Uh-oh. You're not about to have a job. You're not about to have a job, okay? As we like to call it. Anthropic says that AI may transform. They're being nice. It's already transformed. Anthropic is the leader when it comes to AI. It's not even OpenAI. It's not ChatGPT. It's Anthropic. All right. I love Anthropic. I'm not even going to lie to you. I love Claude. But at the same point, I love it because I'm a business owner and I'm not putting myself in a situation where I'm letting them price me out. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. So we're in a day and age where you can use the same tools that are making people rich. Like I said earlier in the show, being broke in 2026 is a choice. It is a choice because most people are losers nowadays where they don't want to even show up. It costs you nothing to show up. I know if I didn't have any money at all, right? One of the first things that I would do in this day and age, if I didn't have no money at all, I would Uber for a little bit just so I could save up for a subscription of $30, and then I would get Claude AI. I would work with it for a month and I would build my business up from there. That's what I would do. But he says this. Its research suggests that tasks like coding, customer support, customer service, research, data processing are increasingly vulnerable to automation. Mass layoffs have not arrived. What is he talking about? Yeah, they arrived. They're getting rid of you, and they're just calling it what do they call it? They call it reorg. They always call it reorg when reorganization. We're reorging your department. That's a layoff. But hiring is already shifting as companies rely more on AI, especially for entry-level roles. No. Entry-level jobs. So everything basically what they said on there, that is 80% of the workforce when it comes to America. That is 80% of the workforce. They're mostly entry-level jobs. Even if you think that you have a title, really what you're doing is data processing, which it has it right here. You're mostly doing data processing. You're mostly doing coding or customer support, customer service, and research. Even if you're doing, well, I'm doing accounts payables. I'm a senior analyst, whatever. Those days is over with. Why do they have to hire an analyst when they can have Anthropic, Claude, do it within a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes. So right here, he shows right here, these are going to be the positions that are at high risk from AI. So let's see some of these positions and let's see where you lie at in your day-to-day operations with your day-to-day job that you do to support yourself. If any of these, I don't know, if they lie in it. Okay, let's just see. Are you in management? Most people are. Are you in business and finance? I would say 70% are. Computer and math, most are. Architecture and engineering, like that used to be a big field right there that people would go to college for. You're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to be an architect and an engineer. Why would I have to do that when I could just have Claude do it in a couple of minutes for me? It's so advanced nowadays, and they keep updating the models in the versions every week now at this point. So why do I need to have some kid come into my business who I could get sued for, who hasn't learned anything into the world, who has their own ideologies and their own whatevers, right? And no, I'm just gonna hire that. Are you also in life and social sciences? Or are you in legal? Yeah, legal is gone. Legal is one of the things that is being affected. Matter of fact, I think it was in New York they tried to propose a bill where it's illegal for you to, or they tried to make it illegal. Yeah, in New York they tried to make it illegal for you to use AI for law advice or for I think it was law advice and also medical. Why? Because those are big businesses. Now think about it. We're heading into the future. What do I need a lawyer for? What do I need a lawyer when I could have Claude or I could have AI just be my attorney and they would give me better advice? The reason why is because a lot of these businesses, a lot of the system is built on these businesses where they're making money off of the structure from you paying the retainer fee, from you paying for the medical. You think they would actually have a cure out there to really help people if they weren't making trillions of dollars off of it? The medical industry right there, they're in trouble with that. Look at this. Let's keep going down the list. Education and library. Now think about this. I think it was what was it, a month ago, 2 months ago? You had at the White House the president of France, and I think also it was Melania Trump. They come out on the red carpet with a robot walking side by side, saying that the future for Europe in education was going to be the robot. It was going to be a robot. You know why? It's the same thing. They don't want these teachers to come in there and have all this hassle with teachers union, hold things up, or all these teachers with all these different ideologies. They're done with it. So instead, they're going with the AI version. Arts and media, they're already doing that. Hollywood is dead. The scripts are garbage. And a lot of the stuff they're trying to blame nowadays is because it's written by AI. So a lot of the scripts nowadays are written by AI, and a lot of the arts itself is written by AI. I mean, heck, look, I guess we're guilty of that as well, because when it comes to arts, we still produce, like, we're still original, right? But we're not recreating the wheel. I'm not telling you to spend hours thinking about one original painting and understanding the symmetry and lining it up and doing the checkboards and all of that. No. Instead, what I'm telling you to do is use AI. So we create AI references ourselves here, right? And we put it up on the projector. So we still paint it. We're still original, but we also use AI ourselves. I'm not going to be one of those type of people where the day that airplanes are invented or a car is invented, I'm going to say, that's evil. That's the devil. I'm never going to use that. And then you're just going to be back in the past. And then you're going to be back in the past while everybody else is succeeding. They're making money. And you're complaining that, well, at least I didn't take on to that technology. I don't. But yet you have a cell phone, right? Like you have a computer. I'm not going to be one of those type of people. I refuse to be one of those type of people that's not going to advance into technology. I can't stop it. So I'm going to join it. Or listen, look at this, office and administrative. How many of you are office and administrative? Plenty of you are. Plenty of you are. You know it. Also, look, sales, social services. I mean, pretty much they're being nice right here, and they're telling you that every job is at risk. All of these jobs that's 98% of the jobs in America. And AI is at a point right now where it's basically singular, and it's thinking on its own, and it's advanced. These are done. I tried to tell you it is coming, and you are going to be more in trouble because they're already producing underneath the roofs right now. They're already producing the physical version of AI, which is the robots. So you need to put yourself in position to save yourself. No one is coming to save you, okay? Prayer is not a substitute for hard work. You have to put the work in. God's like, I already did the work for you. I made sure that you were born with 2 arms, 2 legs, a brain, and 2 legs. Other people, you got other people, and I made sure that you were born in a pretty decent country, right? With first world problems. You could make the money, but it's up to you. I mean, put yourself in position where you can save yourself. Join the elite community. If you're not already part of the elite community, click the link below. Click the link that's in the chat so you could join. It's a 7-day free trial. You don't even have anything to lose off of that. So you could just get in there, and then that way you can start building up your store, build up your business. There is no overhead starting off with employees. You don't have to do all of this other stuff that businesses have to do. Think about how hard it is for businesses nowadays to even start off with. Like, they have to beg for money from the bank just so they could get started. And then it's not even promised to them of what things are. Like, I can't even imagine being in that type of situation. We're in the best situation right now, and it's up to you to save yourself. And these are things right here where this is why I created our community. This is why I created it. So that way you could be in a situation to save yourself. I thought it was always important. I remember before I really went into coaching, I remember I had a conversation with God, and I said I wanted to do it, but I was nervous about showing different things. And he said, just show everything, just show everything, be transparent, no secrets, share it. But then I also said to myself, because it clicked, I said, okay, what's the purpose of me being successful? What's the purpose of me making money if I can't make sure that other people can't make money as well too? Or if I can't share the tools that other people can make money, then that's just boring. That was boring to me, and that's whack. Like, I didn't want to be in that situation, and that's kind of how I was. And I feel better now than I've ever felt before, where I could share the knowledge and I could share the value to how to free yourself, because nobody else is talking about these things. How to free yourself because it's already here right now, and they're already talking about it. You got Randstand talking about there's no more jobs for you. Those days of college, just sitting in the office, is over with. Yeah. And you got right here the leader of AI telling you that these jobs are gone. They've already priced you out. So don't price yourself out. All right, let's go into the chats right now. Let's see what we have here in the chats. Let's see here. We have any chats going on? We have any super chats? Leave likes if you haven't already. Let me know that you appreciate everything that's going on. These gems that I'm dropping. I'm dropping full gems over here. These are the things that save me and save my life. Black Eye says, I sent you a movie about the decline of intelligence. Idiocracy is hilarious, but now it's becoming an actual documentary. Isn't that the truth, right? That's so funny. That's a funny movie. It's been years since I've seen it, but yeah, that's what everybody says anytime they mention that movie. They go, it's becoming an actual thing. Like when they, or what do they say, when memes become real life, right? All right. That's too funny. When memes become real life. All right, so now I'm going to get into the part right here where that's very important. And this is something that it should be self-explanatory, but it's not for a lot of people. And it's about paying yourself first, okay? It's very important for you to pay yourself first. I know we've heard this so many times, but this is something that's extremely important. This is something that's extremely important, so that way you can start building up your wealth. A lot of times people think that you need to have, actually have a full business or you need to have $100,000 or even $1,000 to start becoming wealthy, to start becoming rich. And the real secret to how to become rich, how to become wealthy, how to have more money flow to you, how to have the high frequency is you have to pay yourself first. And another great way to think about this is not just say pay yourself first, because that's something that we've heard for years, pay yourself first. But think of it this way, pay your future self first. Pay your future self. Are you paying your future self? That's a question at times I even ask my son. I go, have you been paying your future self? Because your future self is going to appreciate you taking the discipline out to pay your future self. There's so many times where you go out, you spend money on things that aren't even that important, right? And you let the money flow through your hands by buying food, by buying whatever. You don't even realize it. The money flows out of your hand. And then you're not mad that you didn't make enough money, or you're not mad that whatever the situation is, really it just comes from discipline. We live in two different worlds right now where you have a lot of people out there saying, oh, the economy's bad and I'm not making enough money. Or, oh, I'm broke. These are all mindsets, and I could prove that it's not true, because if you see the consumer rate right now, people are purchasing more things than ever. People are still buying a lot of things. And I'm not just talking about essential things such as gas and food. I'm talking about if they drop a stupid watch collection or something like that, you have all these people lined up so they can rush in line to get a watch. If they drop some new shoes, you got all these people. People are still being consumers in America, all right? People have the money for what they want or what they think they want because they're impulsive buyers. There's money out there. There's trillions of dollars that's even on the sideline. The consumer rate is high for the money. The money is there. People are spending the money. People are going out to restaurants, but they're not disciplined on saving the money and paying their future self. So when the money is gone and the money is dripped out, you're not mad about your job didn't pay you enough, or that your broker or whatever the situation may be. You're mad at yourself. Your future self is mad at yourself in the past that you didn't have the discipline to just pay him first. And you can set these things up so they can be automatic. So we're just going to be talking about that right now. And these are wealth secrets that were taught down, and these are wealth secrets really from the book of the Richest Man in Babylon, which I read like 4 years ago, and it changed my life, because it's something so simple. Usually when you read these type of books, I just get into it. It's an audio book or whatever, and I'm thinking there's going to have all these different quotes and different taglines, and you need to do this, you need to do that. But then really, the main premise of the book, the main premise of the book is pay yourself first. That's it. It's not even about hundreds of dollars, thousands of dollars. It's about pay yourself pennies first if you have to. Because then what it's teaching you is not even about savings. It's teaching you the aspect of being disciplined. And if you can start somewhere like that, of being disciplined about your money, not only are you going to have a better frequency flow of money coming back to you, but you're also going to be more confident about yourself because you have the discipline of saving money and it's not leaving you. Like, that's a horrible feeling of where you don't have no more money coming in, or you're broke, or you're broke because you're check to check. When people think check to check, is because you don't have no more money outside of what you already spent. That's horrible. You didn't even pay your future self. You're going to have more confidence in your decisions, your mindset, and the things that you believe and who you are by making sure that you pay yourself first. So let's get into this right now. Let's get into this. Let me share this with you. Okay, here we go right here. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. It's the wealth secret of the old masters knew. And there's 3 simple pots that's going to make it work. Now, these are things that I talk about all the time. Like, if you've been with me, then you already know these are the things that I talk about all the time, about how to pay yourself. Not just to have a savings account, right? Because everybody talks about savings, but then a lot of times people go, oh, I don't have enough money to put into the savings. Yes, you do. You're just not disciplined to pay yourself first. And the universe knows it. And the universe is going to treat you as so, because you're being greedy, and you're being greedy with the mindset. So when we talk about pay yourself before you pay the world, everybody has bills. Everybody has debts. Everybody has something that they have to pay off. It's fine. It's understandable. Like, but there's a way how you could free yourself out of it. The fastest way how you could free yourself out of debt is by paying yourself first, but also paying yourself in different pots. So that way you can build up for it. All right. Before a single bill, before a single store, before going out to eat, before anything, before paying back the person who you have to pay back, your future self gets paid first. All right. Look at that. Your future self gets paid first. Now, what's left at the end of the month, the first cut every single time, what stays behind is what you live on. And me, I'm even more frugal than that. I'm frugal with myself. Like I said, my boss is 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐿𝐼C Studios. My boss is 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐿𝐼C Studios. So 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐿𝐼C pays me a kind of a minimum salary, weekly. And I'm fine with that. I live off of that salary that 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐿𝐼C Studios pays me. But then anything outside of that, I keep it for different saving pots. And we're going to break that down right now. And it's going to be a great feeling for yourself. Trust me, it's a whole psychological effect. And this is how you bring more money to yourself. Once I started to apply this to my life, this is how I was able to get rich. This is how I was able to invest for the first time. This is how I was able to have multiple businesses. This is how I was able to not make decisions off of desperation and scarcity. Okay, so this is the psychology of never being desperate. Money you never touch changes how you act. It's a cushion behind you that means that you stop selling from fear. The world, the universe, can smell desperation. They can smell when your numbers are you need it or that you really want it. It comes from a place of desperation. I've been teaching you this for a while. It's inside of our classroom, and it's free for everybody inside of the classroom, where it's the money secrets. And you need to go and you need to read that, apply these things to your life. But it comes from the mindset of that as long as you're broke or you feel like you're broke, then that creates anxiety, and that anxiety is going to keep you into that low frequency of not having money. Desperate sellers, they train buyers to lowball them. You see what I'm saying? Look, desperate sellers, you're training buyers to lowball you. Calm sellers, they name their price and they wait for it. If somebody comes back with a certain price, I'm going to let them know where my Rolex price is at. I'm going to let them know what I want to deal with on a commission. I always tell people all the time where they're like, how should I deal with this buyer? How should I deal with this? And I'm like, be calm. You run the show. You're the boss. Okay. You need to be calm because you run the show. You're the boss. That calm is the luck that wealth follows. You don't chase fortune. You don't chase fortune. You stop needing it. And then it comes to you. That's why people always go, oh, the rich, they get richer and the poor get poor. It's not by happenstance, okay? It's because of the frequency of not being desperate for it. And the reason you're not desperate for it is because you paid your future self first. When you have a job or you have a situation with your boss or a manager, maybe you don't feel good. Maybe somebody says something wrong to you that you didn't like. You're not feeling bad in the situation about what they said to you. You're being sad and you're being mad internally. You don't know it at your previous self because you didn't have enough discipline to pay yourself first. Even if it was $10, $20, it doesn't matter. Now, these are the three pots that I position myself in, and I position myself in with a little bit of cash. So the pots, how I like to break it down is I have one, which is the storehouse. Okay. That's for your emergencies. That's like what you don't borrow for, things like that. Okay. It's an emergency, or maybe it's in a vacation or something like that. Because look, I always say bills are due every single day. And what I mean by that is that emergencies always happen. Anytime that life knows that I don't want to even say life because it's your own frequency of being used to being in a loser frequency. All right. All right. And it's not you, it's society that's trained us this way. We're so used to being in this loser society frequency that we always want to revert and go back to it. So anytime I say things like that, it could come back to want to plague you, to where life happens, emergency happens. Anytime you're doing better, it's going to pull you down. Everybody knows that feeling, right? Where you're like, dang, every time that I'm getting ahead, it feels like I can never get ahead because life wants to pull me down, or somebody wants to pull me down, family wants to pull me down, something happens. And we think that it's just bad luck, when really it's just that our own frequency of being a loser brings us down. So I like to put things in position, so that way these things can't happen. So we have the first one. This is like your basic savings, okay? Which is your first one. It's your storehouse. It's just for emergencies, vacations, whatever. It happens. Then you have a second savings, which is your war chest. It's money that you can have in case for investments or a situation that you have that you could buy a dip. There's so many times where I train you. I talked about this ever since last year. I told you that we're in a time where the greatest transition of generational wealth is happening right now. What I mean by that is, if you study the market right now, there's so many times where it will dip, especially when we're talking about crypto. But if you're studying crypto, then you already know that the legislation is already being passed for it. It's already been passed through Senate. Now it just has to go through Congress, and there's so many moments. So there's a major dip right now, which is a buying opportunity, because all the world is going to be moving off of the blockchain because of the rails. We already have a new Fed chairman that's in. These are the things that you want to put yourself in for. So I put money in a war chest. Now, when you put money in a war chest, it doesn't mean that you're investing every single week or even every single month, but you just keep a pot there just in case a moment happens where, oh my God, you just heard something from the news, or you heard something where there's a great moment in the market. Think about '08, right? Like in '08, the market crashed. Now imagine if you had a war chest at that time and you invested back into the market in '08. I know so many people in my personal life who became millionaires just because they bought the market during that dip. They had a war chest that they didn't spend off of. They just was holding on to it just in case of an emergency happens for an investment opportunity. And then they bought the market in '08, and then they got rich. Then we have, this is important to me, the third pot. The third pot is the good luck pot. The good luck pot is something that you never touch. I wrote it right here. You never, ever touch it. It's your peace of mind. The reason that you don't never touch it is because I believe that this brings luck to you. This is your leprechaun pot of gold, okay? And you bury it somewhere. Now, the reason that this is important as well, what I do when it comes to my pot of gold, for example, every single time that I get paid weekly or from my different incomes that come in, I make sure that it's automated, okay? I make sure that all three of these are automated. So that way I don't even know that the money, I don't even give it a chance for me to look at my bank account and see, oh, you got that much money. Oh, what are you going to do with it? Then if I'm not disciplined, I might be tempted to actually touch the money first or do something with it first. I don't even want you to go out to a fast food place. I don't want you to buy even popcorn. I don't want you to do anything with that money until you have these automated. So I have this automated, and it goes directly into a account. Now this pot of gold, this goes into an account that I can't touch. I don't have a debit card to it. I don't have any kind of card or any kind of access to it. I can't even transfer from it. Okay. Like this is something that this is in such an account where it's in an investment account where I can't even transfer from it to another bank, to one of my other banking accounts. I can't do it. And I keep it there as my confidence. This is what keeps me rich right here, is this pot right here. Because no matter what, I never ever touch it. But I also have the peace of mind that I'm never ever living check to check. I'm never ever in a situation where people could talk to me any other way how they want to, or I'm never in a situation where my confidence is low. I'm always in a situation that I'm able to sell more artwork, where I'm able to do better things for myself. So at times when people go, hey, how come my sales are this way and other people's sales are this way or this, that, the other? And it's like a lot of times those things aren't easy to answer because a lot of times it's a mindset as well. I don't know, how broke are you in real life? You know, what's your banking situation? What's your frequency like? What is your anxiety like? These are things that I like to know as well. How is your savings situation like? Because if you're coming from that type of energy, then that's going to affect your business. All right. So I also have a spending salary. Like I said, 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐥𝐢𝐧𝐠 Industries or 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐥𝐥𝐢𝐧𝐠 Studio, I give myself a very, very, very small salary weekly because I don't need much. And that's why people always say, oh, the rich get richer and the poor get poor. If you're ever around rich people, then you understand that they don't spend money all the time because they already have they already bought all the toys they want. Their kids are already taken care of. They already have food in the refrigerator. Like, what more stuff can you do? It's only broke people that get excited about a little bit of cash and they want to flaunt it. They want to show it. They want to spend it all the time. But once you get to a point where it's flowing, you don't need to spend money all the time. So me, 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐥𝐢𝐧𝐠, my boss, he pays me a small stipend every week where it's like I'll have spending cash. Now, I'm talking about small cash like $100, $200 that I'll keep with me. And I only do that as my salary, my weekly salary of my spending money. And the reason I do that is because I won't be able to spend all of it. Like, I won't be able to spend more than $100 to $200 a week because I don't really need anything. I already have most of the things that I want, but also it's easier than a debit card because with a debit card, you'll just always click, cling, click, cling, get click, cling. It's easier for you to always hit that debit card and then the money leaves your account, right? Compared to when it's cash and you're spending the cash, it's you don't want to spend the cash. You have more when you're holding on to the physical. You don't want to spend the cash too much. You're more accountable to the cash. But also it like carries over into the next week. So you'll see that in the next week or so, you'll have money laid out. You'll have more money that carries over from that cash that you were spending. So here, what we talked about here, which is the first saving, which is the storehouse, is for emergencies and for rest. You never go into debt for. So you never go into debt for. And this is all biblical as well too. These are old teachings, like these are all old things that were passed down. So it's not just even coming from 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐥𝐢𝐧𝐠. So here in the Bible, Joseph stored grain through 7 good years. So Egypt was the only land that didn't starve in the 7 bad ones. They told the children's version, and then the ant gathered all summer while the grasshopper played. Only one of them ate in the winter. Now the takeaway is the good times exist to prepare for you for the hard ones. The war chest. This is the one that we talk about where it's the cash to keep ready in case that you want to invest in war or you want to invest in your future, the golden opportunity. These are moments where it's like, how many times have you been in this situation where people are like, oh man, there was a great moment. I wish I could have invested in that, but at the time I was broke and I didn't have the money to invest in it. Yes, you did. You just weren't disciplined enough to put away $20 here one week, $20 the next week. And then at the end of the month, you would have had $80 to $100 at the end of the month into your war chest. And then you could have used that to invest in something and then you won't feel bad about it. So this is cash ready so that you can buy when everything is cheap. The Rothschilds' famous rule. This is from the Rothschilds, right? Buy when there's blood in the streets. While everyone is panicked and they sold cheap, he had cash ready and bought the bottom. This is how Rothschild was able to buy countries. This is how they were able to buy out banks. Is because there was blood on the streets. Everybody was panicking. Everybody was selling out the markets because they didn't have it. They weren't prepared. Instead, he was patient because he built up a war chest. His family got together and built up a war chest. And they're not spending the war chest every week. They're not investing every week. They're not investing every month. They got the war chest ready for when there's blood on the streets, when the '08 crashes or when the market crashes. Like, all of these things are what they always want to say, right? If you ever watch TV and they want to go, oh, the market's about to crash. even though like we keep hitting these all-time high of the market, but they're going to say any day the market's going to crash. Oh, the Strait of Hormuz, the oil, whatever. You can start hearing the news now and not panicking from a person who's broke. So I can always tell who broke people are from how they react to what the news is saying. Because if you're in a situation where you have money ready, this is what rich people do. Rich people don't save money to get rich. There's no such thing as savings wealth. The savings is to invest. But that's how you can put yourself in a situation to win. So Machiavelli, he also said 500 years earlier that fortune is a flooding river. The wise build their walls before the flood. Warren Buffett's plan version, be greedy when others are fearful. So I can always tell when people are in a money situation because they're fearful. Oh, the news said this, the news said that. If you were in a money situation and if you already had this ready and you had somewhat of a small war chest ready for the fear, then you should be excited about the fear. This is how rich people play the game. Rich people play the game because they're not fearful the same way you're fearful. You're fearful because you're broke and you put yourself in a situation where you were just saving $10, $20. You were already spending that anyways on a Starbucks coffee. Okay, maybe not. Maybe an apple pie or whatever you were buying. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself these different savings first. The takeaway from this is that a crash becomes your buying day. A crash always happens. But instead looking at it like a normie, oh, I'm scared the crash is going to happen to wipe me out. Because you didn't pay yourself. You look at a crash or you look at a fear as opportunities to buy. That's the war chest. But only if you're already loaded. All right. Now, the third saving is that we talk about the good luck pot. It's never touched. Its only job is to give you peace of mind. Your peace of mind is that you're never broke. Your peace of mind is that you could walk through with your head up high. A lot of times we can't even walk up with our head up high when we go to a family event or when we're out with our family or when we're out, whatever. You can't keep your head up high because deep down inside, you know that you're broke. You know that you weren't disciplined with your money and you know that you didn't bury a pot of gold somewhere. This is your psychological boost to bring more money. I always built this up, my pot of gold, the thing that I can't touch. I don't care how much money I have. I always build this up because this is what generates more money for me. This is what generates more money for my business because I'm never in a flow of desperation of needing, and it always comes back more. The rich get richer. The richest man in Babylon kept part of all of his earned as gold that worked for him. He lived on what it produced, never the gold itself. You understand? You don't live off of the money of what you're producing yourself. You don't live off of what you have. He lived on what it produced, never the gold itself. The old farmers had a blunter rule: never eat your seed corn. The grain you must replant, no matter how hungry the winter gets. The takeaway from this is knowing that it's there means that you'll never sell desperately. You'll never beg and you'll never take a bad deal. You always have power when you could walk away from the table, when you have a negotiation. You can always be in a power position. All right. This is what gives you the power to hold your head up high and have more money come back to you. You'll never be in a situation where you're desperate, you're begging. OK, that's what's important, knowing that you'll never sell. So that's why when other people have fear, you'll be calm, you'll be collected because you have a pot of gold. Now, this is what you could do, how to set it all up. Make it automatic so you never have to decide. When your payday hits, money moves on its own. Go to your bank, go inside of it. They all have systems in there where you could do automatic, where it can automatically go into your different accounts. Each pot lives on its own account, each different savings because they all have their own job. Mark down on there what the savings pot is. So whatever the saving is, make sure you have a name for it. Okay, this is for vacation or emergency. The second one, okay, this is my war chest or my investment savings. The third one, you never touch it. It's not even part of the same bank account. You transfer it to a different bank. No debit card, no nothing. You don't touch it. The good luck pot, it sits at a different bank. Look, remember, I just said that right now. It sits at a different bank, no debit card. It's out of sight. It's out of reach, out of temptation. Now, your cash that you do weekly, that's your $100 to $200 salary. It comes out as cash. You feel it leave your hand. So it's going to last for the week. It's going to last for the week because you actually see it leave your hand. Compared to your debit card, you might overspend it. Now, anything extra that's in your bank account, that's extra. And that's going to be like it's forced savings, because you're going to have money that's going to flow over those. But just make sure that you set up those 3 savings. Now, this is something that you could do weekly. This is your 10-minute money close right here. Every Sunday, same chair, same coffee. It all adds up to weekly sales. Send each pot its share. Pool next week's cash salary. Write the number down and close the book. What you can also do for when it comes to your eBay business, treat every sale like a paycheck. Skim a fixed slice off the top before it even feels like it's money that you made. If you made any money, just skim a little bit of that money off the top. Have a small percentage that you're going to do, even if it's just, say, 25%. Feed the pot first. We always talk about this. Pay your future self first. Your skill is the highest return pot of all. Better painting, sharper listings, faster shipping, faster paintings. Babylon's oldest law is raise your ability to earn, and every other pot fills faster. It's not about saving the most and who make the most money. No, Babylon's oldest law was raise your ability to earn. Skill is the one investment that pays you back for the rest of your life. So start this Friday. Do that. These are the 3 pots. It's all broken down. If you want this, if you want this PDF, then just click the link below, join us inside the elite community, and then it's going to be there for you. Okay. This is there for you. So that way you can have it. It's going to be in the money secrets. All right. So let me hear what you guys think about that in the comments. Leave some likes on the video. Let me know that you're still here. All right. Let me know that, that this is resonating for you. These are things that are really taught down. I know it sounds simple, but this is very important, because a lot of times the wealth is simple. It's very simple. And that's the thing that I'm trying to resonate and show more, is that a lot of times it's very simple. It's not all these complex things. A lot of times when you hear these gurus and coaches, they make things complex. They make it seem like they have some type of secret that other people don't have, but it's based off of these simple principles. Now, the next one that we're going to go into right here is scarcity versus abundance. And this is very important. This is also inside of the money mindset course as well, where it talks about the scarcity mindset versus abundance. And trust me, the universe knows the difference, and they know what frequency that you're living at. They understand where your mind and how you're feeling. Remember what we talked about. Scarcity is that half glass empty. Abundance is half glass full. But only you know. You can't try to be. I know a lot of people say fake it till you make it, and that only works so far. But you can't fake it so much where you don't have any money in your bank account. So the inner game of money and why it quietly decides what you earn. It's not how much you have. It's not about how much you make at your job. Scarcity and abundance aren't your bank balance. They're which decisions fear will let you make. So, for example, a scarcity mind and an abundance mind can run the exact same shop in the exact same market and walk away with the opposite results. The difference isn't the money, it's the thinking behind every decision, every mindset. That's why it kills me when people go, oh, the rich get rich and the broke stay broke. It's because of a mindset of scarcity and abundance. The mindset of scarcity is that, oh, I just got this money. I never had money my whole life, so I'm going to hold on to it. The universe knows that you're holding on to it, so the universe is going to make sure that that's all you get. Whereas in abundance, you know that you had that third pot of gold, right? That we just discussed. And you have that buried somewhere. You don't even have access to it. Because what's going to happen? We all know this. We've been in this situation before where you have a savings account, right? Like, even the word savings account sounds icky to some of us. It sounds like, the reason why it sounds icky is because we know there's been moments where we didn't have discipline and we dipped into it. We know there's been moments in our lives where we dipped into that savings account and we had to take from it. It sucks because we didn't have the discipline. But then we say to ourselves, what if we had a savings account where we threw away the key? We didn't have a debit card to it. It wasn't attached. It wasn't anything. We just threw away the key, but it was on automatic where money would keep going into it. And then you think about the compound interest of the years where it would just keep compounding. It would put you in this total different mindset. It's not even about the money. You get what I'm saying? It's not even about the money. It's about your mindset. You would be walking more with your head high. You would be making way more money. You would be making more money and more opportunities would be happening to your life. You would be getting more sales from your eBay by you just making sure that you're putting away $10, $20 every time that you get paid and you put it into that pot of gold that you can't ever touch. You'll be bringing in way more money. The reason that you don't bring any money is because there's no discipline of how you're saving your money. So scarcity narrows the mind. This isn't a feeling, it's measurable. Researchers found that being short on money, it literally captures your attention and it pulls it into a tunnel. You fixate on the next bill and you lose sight of the bigger move, right? How many of you have been in that situation? Anxiety is going to cripple you. Anxiety and you thinking about the money that way where you're not free or there's bills, it creates tunnel vision. You chase the urgent and you miss the important. It taxes your judgment. The same person who makes worse decisions when squeezed. Desperation is the cost, and buyers, they can smell it on you. But not only buyers, it's the world. I say this to young men all the time because I use this as an analogy. I say, has there ever been a pretty girl that you wanted to be in a relationship with? But then what's the thing that always pushes them away is that if they smell the desperation on you, they smell that you want it more than anything, then you come off as a creep. They're going to call you a creep because you're being desperate. Nobody wants somebody who's desperate. And nobody wants to do business with you if they can smell that you need the opportunity. Nobody wants to be in business with you if they can see that, oh, why should I give you $10,000 if you're acting like somebody who's never handled $10,000 before? You're just going to mess it up. You're desperate. You smell like it. One of the strongest things that I remember reading in a book of negotiation and sales is that the person who is able to walk away from the table has the power. You have to be able to walk away from the table. If you ever watched any movies on Wall Street or if you watch any movies on anything about business, the one who was like dead broke and he's ready to throw up from being anxious, but still at the same time he held his own, where he's willing to stand up from the table and walk away from the deal, but he knows that he's in debt. Then what happens? Those are the ones that they get the call back and they say, you know what, we'll take the deal, because it's the mindset of abundance and not scarcity. And then you make the other person feel better about doing business with you as well when you're in that mindset. So the same market, the opposite outcomes. The scarcity mindset, they fight over scraps. They undercut wins of the sale. They clutch onto every dollar and they won't reinvest in themselves. Not only will they not reinvest in themselves, but they don't even reinvest in relationships. They don't reinvest in coaching. They don't reinvest into the implementation of the shortcuts to save them time. They panic sell. How many people have you known? My mother used to call it penny for pound thinking. How many people do you know out there who would try to save $1 and then they spend 12 hours trying to do something themselves, and then they mess it up all along when you could have just paid a little bit of money and you could have got an expert to do it or showed you the implementation of how to do it to save you time to do it the right way. And then you wouldn't have messed it up. It's called penny for pound thinking. You want to save a penny, but it's going to cost you £1 later. That's what that also means. Or they panic sell the moment that things are slow. When things are slow, they panic about how things are going. They want to change things. They don't feel like it's working for them. They start panicking in their mind instead of don't day trade the numbers. You're only being calm where you could don't day trade the numbers if you were already in a situation where you've been putting money away in the pot of gold anyways. So you don't have to day trade the numbers, because as long as I'm just showing up the work, everything's fine. Only time I'm day trading the numbers is when I rely on it, and that's already going to bring anxiety in me. And if I was bringing anxiety in me, the universe knows that that's only the limit that they're going to leave me at. So let's see here. Also, now here we have the opposite, which is the abundance mindset, which creates values others don't offer. It's all about creating value. prices from worth. It holds the line. Reinvest in skills and tools. Always reinvest in yourself, as we were talking about. Reinvest in skills and tools, and waits for the right buyer. I have artwork that I have sitting there that's in my buy it now store. And when the right buyer comes from me just showing up and doing the numbers on my auction, doing every day the same, being consistent, then that's how I'm able to make the sales. I showed this as an example, as proof last week. I haven't been listing in over 2 months or so, right? eBay had no reason to give me any sales. They weren't giving me sales over that time period because I wasn't being consistent. I showed up for 1 week only, and most 90% of my buyers were new buyers. And I grossed $2,000 in that time period. Why? It's because I'm already in a higher frequency. I'm not in a scarcity mindset. I'm being consistent, but also I'm waiting for the right buyer who also, they showed up to buy my buy it now items. Now, this is a scripture from the Bible as well, where it's the berry coin. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard this one as well. But a master gives 3 servants money to manage. 2 invested and they double down. The third, afraid of losing it, buries his in the ground and hands it back exactly what he started with. But there's more to the story. They were like, here, master, I didn't do it. Then the master, now only the fearful one, they end with nothing gained. Scarcity buries, abundance plants. Now the master, he was testing them. Now he says to the person that didn't invest it, he didn't lend it back to people, he didn't do anything. He says to the person who just buried it, they got fired and they didn't get any money. Now the people who actually took the money, they put it back out into the world and they invested it, and then they gave the master back his money. They got to keep the bag of money. They got to actually keep it. That's how it works for you, and it doubles, it triples. Now the takeaway is fear of losing what you have is the surest way to never grow. You're never going to get it anyways if you have a fear of losing what you have. I'm just going to hold on to it. I'm just going to hold on to it and not do anything for it. And you're not going to put it back into the world. That's the way to keep your mindset of scarcity. And you're never going to grow. You're never going to get it. Or that it's never enough. It's never enough. So if you say, oh, it's never enough, then Seneca on the trap of always wanting more. Seneca warned, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. Scarcity isn't always about an empty wallet. It's the restless feeling that whatever you have isn't enough. And that feeling pushes you into desperate, short-sighted moves. Now, the takeaway from that is that wealth begins the moment that you can act from enough instead of not yet. Also, take away in the most simple form is gratitude. Be grateful for everything that you have. Be grateful for the moment that you already have. You are already rich right now. Be grateful. Put it in your mind that you're already rich. Give yourself permission to feel however you want to feel right now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. As long as you're being grateful, that's how the riches come to you. Because you're in a mindset of abundance. You're not in a mindset of where you're lacking or where you need something more to fulfill of who you are. You already are. And once you're grateful for that you get to wake up with 2 arms, 2 legs, a brain, the ability to work, then you're going to get more instead of thinking that you need to get more. Create. Don't compete. Wallace Wattles, The Science of Getting Rich. Wattles' core law, think in terms of creation, not competition. The scarcity mind fight other sellers over a fixed pile of scraps, racing to the bottom on the price. The abundance mind makes something that no one else is offering. So there's no one left to compete with. For an artist, that's the whole game. So stop fighting over the pie, bake a different one so that only you can make. All right? Think of it that way, that these are things that you can do. This is the abundance mindset of creating that only you can do. So there's no one else left to compete with. Now, if you catch yourself doing any of these things, fear is running the shop. The scarcity is going to tell you this: pricing low. Just be safe. You're leaving money on the table when you do it the buy it nows. So when we talk about the buy it nows, I always tell you don't race to the bottom. And eBay doesn't like that either. Don't race to the bottom, because if you race to the bottom, then your store is not going to be shown. The algorithm's not going to be shown on there. Don't race to the bottom. You need to make sure that you have those prices up there. That way it's going to be worth your time. Undercutting the seller next to you, or race to the bottom, only the buyer wins. Like I said, stay in your own frequency and making sure that you have the Rolex prices in there. Refusing to reinvest. You have to be able to reinvest in yourself. Reinvest into the relationships as well. Reinvest in relationships. Reinvest into implementation. Reinvest into the coaching. Reinvest into yourself, into the elite community. Reinvest in yourself with a business. Okay, you have to be able to reinvest in yourself. That's how you're going to be able to triple, double, quadruple. I can't afford better tools right now. It keeps the work small. Chasing volume until you burn out. More listings, more stress. This is something that I used to do. I used to always think that I need to always chase volume and work all day instead of having a system. We have a system inside of the community where we have AI tools that will show you what you just need to be based off of and what you need to do on a daily basis of how many you need to list when it comes to your auctions versus how many you need to do for your buy it now. And then you can have the numbers based off of that and compare it to not knowing what the end goal is. And that's a horrible feeling, because then that's a mindset of scarcity, of not knowing when the end is. I always tell people the fastest way to burn out is not knowing when the end is, not having an exit plan, not knowing when to stop. Then you're just going to be like, I'm working all day. The abundance moves price from value, not fear. Set it once, calm, then hold the line, and it sells. I'm going to put it there. I'm going to put my clearance on there. I'm going to put my promos on there, and I'm just going to leave it there. It's going to sell. I know it's going to sell. It always sells. I showed in real time how it was selling, and eBay had no reason to reward me with those sales. Create what no one else makes. Do things in your own style. I always tell you, look, you're already a creator. You're already a phenomenal artist. You're already a phenomenal person. You're already a superhero. Don't try to overthink it. Just create. Like, you're already a creator. So this is an art class. I can't teach you how to be yourself. Only thing we go off of is we're working off of the projector, because we have the proportions right there. And then do something different. Do something funky. Do something. You don't have to be the panda bear hairs, all right? You don't have to be so detailed and all of that stuff. Like, those people, that's why I think it's so boring, is because those people aren't creating something that's outside of themselves. They're just creating an exact replica of the photo of what it actually is. Reinvest in your skill first. Reinvest into yourself. Reinvest into the elite community. Reinvest in that where you can actually learn the implementation to save yourself time. A lot of times people think that it's just as if, oh, I didn't know I could sell art on eBay. Let me start an eBay account. And then I get hit up all the time for messages saying, oh, my account got suspended or this happened. Yeah, because you didn't reinvest into yourself to learn the implementation of the right way and also how to circumvent it and how to get around it. Reinvest back into yourself and get your business going. It's better work that earns more per hour than cheap work ever will. Give value away to build a following. This is what it's all about right here. Generosity is an abundance move. It comes back as loyal buyers. So that's one of the things that I'm always proud about, is like when I say, oh, you know, I sold 18,000 paintings and amount of just 5, 6 years, 5, 6, 7 years, something like that. I don't know. Time flies. But one of the things I'm proud about that number is that I have so much artwork that's out there. Generosity. I always try to give value, even when it comes to this YouTube, right? And I'm putting it out here. I'm giving away value so that way my tribe finds me. Whoever's meant to be here is going to be here. Whoever's not meant to be here, whatever, then they're fine. They'll either find their way or they won't. but I always try to give away value, and then it comes back to me. That's the happiest that I've been. And this is something that you can do as well. Like, you're not just an artist. There's something special about you as well in your personal life that you can give away value for, and it comes back to you. This is how you're going to build wealth. You can build the calm. So abundance isn't just wishing money into existence. It's the calm that lets you behave like wealthy people behave. And calm can be engineered. Remember what we always talk about. I always say it when they say the rich get richer and the poor stay poor. You know why? Because the poor is in a mindset of anxiety and scarcity. Instead, you need to be in the mindset of abundance where you're being calm. You know that it's already going to come for you. You know that it's already here. Only thing that you have to do is be consistent. You don't have to day trade the numbers. You're being calm because you already put in systems where you automated your savings into those different pots. So what's there to be cautious about? What's there to have anxiety for? The time is going to leave us anyways. So 2 months is going to go by. 3 months is going to go by. It goes by so quick. A year is going to go by. So imagine when a year goes by, let's just say 6 months goes by, and you've been putting your money in those pots for the past 6 months. The more that time goes on like that, you're going to have more of confidence because you already built up. Those things are going to build up and they're going to compound. And then you're going to be calm about whatever happens in the world. The only people who are worried about TV, media, or whatever they got to say, or fear or pushing fear or anything like that, are people who are broke or mentally broken. But you don't have to be because you already put yourself in a mindset of being calm. You could fund the good luck pot, and then the money behind you, it kills the desperation. You could set your prices when you're calm, not when you're broke and panicking. People smell the panic. You could give before you ask. It trains your own mind out of scarcity, and judge by your system over a month, not a single sale. I always talk about that. Don't day trade the numbers. So you could judge your system by a month, 2 months. I always judge it by a quarter. Now, which mindset will you run shop on? Will you go to the scarcity? Will you do the abundance? You can't think your way rich, but scarcity, you can go broke. Build the calm. The calm is the pots, all right? The calm is the savings. And then from there, you're going to understand how it comes to you. So this is more of a simplistic way. I hope I broke these down very simple for you, so you can understand that. I hope I broke this down more simple for you so you can also understand how you can implement this into your life. And it's not some woo-woo type stuff, or it's not just manifest and wish on a star. When people think manifest at times, they're thinking about fantasy, or they're thinking about like wishing upon a star. And it's really not. You could just put yourself in more of this simplistic mindset. These are really the things when people are talking about manifesting, how it really works. It's about having systems in place about how to automate your money, and it could just be small things because the small thing compounds. Like I said, a lot of the rich people and the wealthy people of the world, they didn't put themselves in position to become wealthy or rich by just saving money. They put themselves in position by having these small savings, multiples of them, and having different ones for war chest, which is the investment or the opportunity to buy, and the opportunity to actually get in on the market when everybody else. See, most times when the market bleeds, right, or things go bad, most people don't have any money at that time to invest. They're like, man, the market's bad right now and I don't have any money to buy anything. Or how many times have you seen where the market goes bad and you could buy a house, or you could buy a car, or you could buy certain things that are cheaper at that time, but you can't because the market's bad and I'm affected by it. You're bad because you're sad because you didn't put yourself in a situation where you could actually invest it during that time, or at least invest it in your mindset during that time to do it. So let me know in the comments if that makes sense to you, what I just broke down right there. So that way you can also apply these things. All of both of those right there, those are also going to be in the money mindset course if you wanted to go over that yourself, so you can see how you can apply that to yourself, or apply that to your life and apply that to your business. Both of those are going to be inside of the Money Secrets course module in there. All right. So let me know. Let's see here. Let's see who we have here in the comments. All right, we don't have enough likes on the videos. I see that we got people in here, and then we don't have enough likes. Come on, leave me some likes in this video. Doing the good Lord's work out here. We're putting in work out here, and we're sharing a lot of great knowledge out here that I worked for. That is important to share with you, right? It's super important. Let's see here. Let's see who we have here in the comments. Let me also know in the comments what you think about those two modules right there, or those two lessons talking about how to pay yourself, but also the abundance versus scarcity. Let's see here. Frommy Life. Let's see here. Frommy Life says that I like the concept of peace because of doing these systems. Oh, Marilyn. Marilyn says, I like the concept of peace because of doing these systems. Thank you, Marilyn. Lee says, this was so inspiring and motivating. Love that you share this with us. Thank you. Thank you, Lee. I appreciate you. Pam says, thanks for the advice and guiding us in the ways that you make our lives more successful. Thank you. Sheila says, thank you, 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐿, for sharing this advice. God bless you for the life and information and opportunity. I appreciate you. Thank you. Portia says, I just set up a pot of gold auto payment. That's amazing to hear. Fearless Paints, thank you for the super chat. I greatly appreciate you. Fearless Paint says, when is the right time to pay yourself when just starting? Business expenses pile up quickly, canvases, etc. I feel like I'm always paying to maintain. The only reason that you're always feeling like you're paying to catch up is because you're not paying yourself first. Everything starts leveling out the more that you pay yourself. So start today. It doesn't matter if it was the $5. Like I had rather you not pay me the super chat of the $5, and you could have paid that $5 to yourself. I'm appreciative of the super chat for sure. I greatly appreciate it for you doing that. But you get my point of what I'm saying, right? I had rather you just say in the comments that, hey, you know what? I was going to give you a $5 super chat, but instead I paid myself the $5 right now, and I put it away into my pot of gold or into my war chest. That would have been awesome, and that would have been a great thing too. So something like that, and it could just be $5 because they all compound. They all compound, and what's going to happen is you're going to get to a point where in 6 months, right, that's going to go by, and you're talking about 24 weeks, right? And then think about that. After a while, you're going to be having $300, $500 in there. So once you get to a point and then you're not even going to look at it, you can't touch it. And you're gonna be like, whoa, hold on. I got this much money in there and I didn't really feel it at first. And it compounded. What's going to happen. This is the cool part that I didn't tell you guys about any of the savings. It's going to get to a point after it compounds, after month 5, month 6, you're going to invest more money into it. You're going to put more money into it. You're going to increase the automatic payments that go into those accounts. That's what's going to happen. It's going to happen naturally because you're at a point of calmness. You're at a point where you can afford to do it. The reason that you're going to be able to put more money into your war chest, your investment savings, or the reason that you're going to be able to put more money into your pot of gold, your hidden one that you can't touch, is because you're at a point in your life where you don't need it. So you're not at a point of scarcity where you're scared to put more money into it. Because you're going to be like, I'm not broke though. I could put more money into it because I'm not broke. This is how rich people operate. And this is why they said the rich get rich, because they come from they come from a point. Now, this is even old money. Think about how old money does. Their family's been doing this for hundreds of years, right? You could just do that for yourself. Start small, and you don't always have to think to yourself that, oh, I started off with $5 investing in myself today. It's always going to be $5. No, it's not. Because after month 6, and month 6 goes by like that. You already know how fast time goes now. Month 6 is going to go by like that. When month 6 hits, you're going to see money that's in there that built up off of those just $5 or $10. And then what's going to happen is you're already in a mindset of abundance, and you're not going to feel scared about investing more into those pots. Cause you're like, oh, I could put, now it started off at $5, $10. Now I could put $100 in there every week. Now I could put $500 in there every week. And I'm not worried about it because I'm not broke. Like, it's going to become a game to you. It's going to become a game to you seeing that pot add up. Okay. All right. Portia says, thanks for the advice and the systems advice. Definitely. Fearless Paint says, I have a HYS I don't even look at. Auto investments I don't touch either. I guess I've already been doing it. Yeah, exactly. You've already been doing it. So if you do something like that, just make sure that you have those different pots of what I talked about, where you can have a pot for you to invest in, where in case the market crashes or anything happens out of fear, you could even call that your fear pot, that you can take money from that and invest back into the fear market while everybody else is panicking because they have no money. The market crashed. You, on the other hand, you could be like, I waited for this moment. I'm about to buy up the land. That's how rich people, that's how Rothschilds, that's how Rockefellers, that's how they bought up countries. That's how they bought up banking. It's because when there was blood in the streets and the markets crashed, they waited for that moment to buy it up. All right, let's see here. Fearless Paint says, I'm also excited to cash out my first auction in the one in the elite with 250 pieces. Love what you do. That's awesome. All right. So now we are at the most exciting part of the show that you guys have been waiting for. I know you've been waiting for this part of the show. Okay. So now what we're going to do, we're going to go into who the winner is. I'm excited about this. Let's see who the winner is. All right. Let's go into this right now. Let's go in to see who the winner is for the May Challenge. Now, before I do that, let me share this with you right now. This is the May Challenge. Here, let's go in this right now. This was the May Challenge right here that you can see. And we had 7,000 engagement posts on here, everybody. We had 7,000 engagement posts on here over the past 30 days. I'm proud of everybody that came in here. Look, you could just see where the first one was. It's funny that today was a parrot and this one is a sunflower field, because today was a parrot and it was actually a landscape. So that's pretty funny. But let's scroll all the way down and we can see what yesterday's last painting was. And it was these right here. It was a firework. It was a beautiful table. Look at that beautiful table. And you can see where everybody's even showed where their screenshot that they were accountable. So that way these are all in green right here. That's on the calendar. This is what it looks like. So thank you for sharing this screenshot, showing that you were accountable, showing that you didn't miss any days whatsoever, Sue. So that's amazing right there. Also, Chango. Beautiful artwork. And you can just see all the different artwork that people have shown, where they show up. There's so much love in the community. There's so much support. There's so much engagement. I just love it. And you can also see how so many people have grown within their art styles. Right? Look at Nancy right here. Beautiful artwork. Right? We love Nancy. Look at her artwork. Isn't that so beautiful? It's so much fun. But it also gives people a different, look at this, dinner table. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't that amazing? It also gives people an opportunity to buy different types of variations of art. So that's what's so important. So let's go into our let's go into our spinner right here. All right. This is the moment that everybody's been waiting for. And we're finally here right now. Let me make sure that everybody's here in the community. Let's see what we have. All right, so this is everybody right here. I was able to do a check on here. I was also having AI be able to do the check of making sure that everybody showed up. Everybody who had the most consistent days, who had everything checked off in green. I was also able to check the post that you were able to do as well to make sure that you had the artwork there. And like I said, this wasn't based off of who had the prettiest art, who had the best titles or anything like that. It was based off of just you being consistent, you showing up. That's all it's about. Like I said, I'd rather show up and be more concerned about, hey, I'm going to do 100 pieces of art and hopefully I like one of them. You guys were showing up. You also added 62 items into your art store. You learned how to paint better. So this is what it's all about. All right. So are you ready? I'm ready. I'm excited to see who's going to win. Remember, the winners is going to receive $100 cash plus a one-on-one. So whoever the winner is, I'm going to be sending you a message inside the elite community afterwards, after this chat, or after this live stream, and congratulate you. But I'm also going to be sending you a link so you can schedule whatever time that you want to have the one-on-one with me. All right. It's going to be so exciting. Let's get into this and we're going to spin it right now. Who's it going to land on? Who is it? Nancy. Hey, congratulations, Nancy. So you won $100 cash. You won the 1 hour private coaching session with me. Look, we just did that today. We just also gave Nancy a shout out. So today, I guess, is just her day, right? How that all worked out. That worked out perfectly. I mean, you showed up, you showed beautiful artwork. You've been consistent. I mean, we all love looking at your artwork. We all love giving you encouragement. We all love giving you support on there. So I'm extremely proud about everything that you've done this month. I'm even more excited to see how you're going to grow in the future, how you're going to do for the June challenge. And yeah, so there you have right there, Nancy. Everybody give Nancy a round of applause. All right. I should have had some soundboard right now. Nancy, Nancy. All right, so now let's go on to the next winner. Ready to spin that wheel? Come on down. Let's see who it's going to stop on. And the winner is Diana. Diana. Congratulations, Diana. That's Diana Pantoja. Diana, so congratulations on that. I hope I didn't butcher your last name. You know I'm bad at names, but you win $100 cash as well too. I'm going to be sending you a schedule inside of your messages inside the elite community. You've been showing up as well too. You've been consistent. You've been doing a lot of beautiful, colorful artworks. I love your colors. I love how you're able to just pull everything through and you make it look so effortless. I mean, this is just a great thing for everybody in here. As long as you just show up, you could be consistent. I can't wait to also work with you on a one-on-one. Pull up your art store and, you know, we could just work there and I could build you out a schedule. I could show you some different things of what I seen that can improve your store as well. And I can't wait to see that way we're going to be, you can sell more artwork on eBay and you could bring things through. So, hey, you just won $100 cash and you won that free training. So I look forward to that. Thank you so much, Diana. You're awesome. You're a phenomenal person. All right. And then for the last person, let's see who the final winner is going to be. Last but not least, spin that wheel. Come on down. And it's going to be Adrian Berry. Adrian Berry. Awesome. Great job. Adrian Berry, you've been doing a really great job too, where I've been following you. And you've been consistent. You had your head down. You made sure that you've been pulling up with the work. You've been really believing in the program as well and making sure that it does work. So I can't wait to go into your store, work with you on a one-on-one. I'm going to be sending you a personal message. So that way I can make sure that I send your money. And also we can schedule a one-on-one. I'm excited about that, but that's what we have right there. So let's see who all the winners are right here. Here are the three winners. We got Nancy, we got Diana, we got Adrian right there. Those are the three winners. Everybody give them a round of applause. That is so exciting right there. That's our winner for May. But like I said, you can do this. You can join right now. Today is June 1st. So don't feel like you missed out on the opportunity. If you missed out on the opportunity of May, then you can join right now in June. Today's June 1st. You can do this. It's only 2 prompts a day. Doesn't matter about who sells the most, best titles, best looking art. It's just about consistency. That way it gets you into the mindset of being disciplined. All right. It puts you in the mindset of being disciplined. And that's what it's all about. All right. Like, so I'm glad that you guys were able to come through today. You were able to see that you won. Yeah, you won. You won, Adrian. She's like, what? Exactly. You won. So you got $100 cash coming your way. You were able to put in more artwork, so it paid for itself. You were able to get a one-on-one coaching with me. And that's just amazing. Like, I'm so excited. I can't tell you how happy I am right now to see who these winners are, to see, I mean, these people have been putting in the work. And they're not losers, all right? Yes, I understand that we're part of the art renegades. We're like the degenerates around here compared to the gallery and the traditional artwork of what we say. But this is our tribe. This is our community. I'm proud about you guys. This is amazing. I'm telling you, this is such a great thing. I can't wait to hear who's going to be the winner in June. I can't wait to see, how people are going to grow for it. So click the link below, join us. You can click the link below, or you could click the link that's also pinned inside of the community where, or it's in the chats, and you can do this for yourself. Let's go here right now. So that's what I got for you on today's show. I hope that you guys had a great time. I had a really great time. You know me, I really get passionate in talking about success, talking about business, talking about things that you could do to improve your life, because it's not always about painting. And that's kind of the soft transition that I'm going to be going into when it comes to this channel, is that it's not always about painting. It's also about other things than just painting. If it was just about painting, then anybody would do it. This isn't art class. It's about mindset. It's about improvements. It's about the future, what's going on in this world. It's about different topics. And these are things that I need to be bringing up. These are things that I need to be discussing and talking about with you, so that way you can know how to navigate small things that you could do to improve. Because if I can do it, then you can do it. And these are some of the small things that I did to improve my life, to improve my status, is just by focusing small. But also what I did is I reinvested in myself by having mentors, by having coaches as well, so that way I could implement these things. These are things that me personally, I had to spend maybe like tens of thousands of dollars on to learn, but I'm giving the value away to you, because like we talked about on here, to get rid of scarcity, it's important for me to give the value. All right, so you could just see that right there, how I was able to give away the value. The people who won, they also did it for themselves. This wasn't no giveaway. This is something that they earned. They earned this, and you could earn this too. Do this for yourself. Free yourself from your job, from the system, everything else. Let me read off some last comments here before we get out of here. Congratulations to all of the winners again. Wow, thanks, 𝐒𝐞𝐥𝐿𝐧𝐠. That made my day. No, you made my day. So that was awesome for everybody to also see. Let's see here. Jules, not sure what the challenge is, but it sounds interesting. I'll check it out. Yeah, just click the link. It's in there. We broke it down. The challenge is very simple. Only thing you have to do is just a painting challenge every single day. Everybody has the same prompts. There's no different prompts for you than it is for anybody else. It has the same prompt in there. You copy the prompt. You put it into whatever your favorite art AI generator is. It'll populate these different references. You save the reference, you put it on the projector, and then you paint whatever that reference is. You share it with us on that post that you did that for that day. You check off complete that you completed it. Then at the end of the month, it shows you how many days that you've done or that you missed. And then there it is right there. Then you're able to be entered into the randomizer right there, and you're able to win. So, I mean, look, anybody can do it. It's a lot of fun, but it also pushes you to upstart your store, upstart your business. Because sometimes people think that they need more supplies, they need more time, they need more this. No, this right here, it actually shows you, like, it just gets you along the way, kicks you out the door. All right. So that's what I got right there. Leave likes on the video if you haven't already. Share this with your friends, family, how cool this video was. Let me know in the comments if you really appreciated this video and all the information that was dropped for you. I'm going to see you. I'm going to try to do another live stream tomorrow that I'll prepare for. And just based off of you guys' receptions, I really kind of base it off of the analytics. I look at it and see how things are going. So off of that, see how things are going off of the comments, off of the analytics. You guys can be loved, and I'll be back here tomorrow. We'll do another one to have fun, right? How does that sound? All right. So let me know. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'm going to see you guys later.